Tyrese got a Benihana's in his house.
He does though.
Yeah, that's
He
what
posts that shit on
That's
Instagram.
why he said it right
Yeah.
after. He was being an asshole.
Damn.
He said, "Get Tyrese back in here."
Was that recent? Was that like when he was doing?
That was like a few years ago. It was
Damn.
right before the
I gotta watch that.
the 4 season came out.
Yeah, because I assume he probably did some radio stuff, like because he just had a special come out on Netflix.
Oh yeah, not that one. I ain't even watched it because he like even the commercials I seen, he was doing jokes on there that I've seen like from years ago.
Yeah, I
About
feel
his
that.
parents and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, we know. You say that.
And his cops joke.
Oh, which one is that?
It's cops if they had or like it's weird that they have like Jamaican music.
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah.
I forget like the actual joke, but that's the thing that stands out. But yeah, I remember that joke from a while ago, and then
I can't move, yo.
but also me and Elizabeth saw him. He was touring like. We saw him touring like a month before COVID shut everything down.
Yeah.
In DC.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. But like at that show, he was like, "This is my hour for my new special."
Oh, he actually recorded it, or just like
No, it was like that's just what he was doing.
Oh, okay,
Like
got
he was like on tour.
y'all
with
gonna
that
see
material.
this later? Yeah.
Yeah. If y'all want to see anything again, it'll be on Netflix soon.
No.
He also showed like a trailer for that movie he's in with
Is that ever like coming
Lil
out?
Rel and
Yeah.
Tiffany. It probably just got pushed back
Yeah,
because
'cause of
theaters are
Corona and
closed.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Bad Grandpa, basically.
Wait,
it's
what?
like a movie.
Oh
but
yeah,
they do,
yeah.
like stunts
yeah, it's like a
and
prank
everything, yeah.
movie, but it has like a plot line somehow.
Actually, I didn't mind Bad Grandpa. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, I thought you said Bad Grandpa also got pushed back, and
No,
I got
no,
excited
yeah,
because I
dude.
thought there was a new Bad Grandpa coming out.
That's
Worst
how-
grandpa.
If I haven't seen a movie, that's why I'm like, damn, Godfather got pushed back, bro.
Damn.
No, you see, I was gonna watch it, but the movie theater's closed, so it got pushed back. I can't watch anything on DVD anymore.
And everything from the 70s, man, it still hasn't come out.
Live from the studio,
I'm Jimmy Selesky.
I'm Eric Glazer, and tonight on the cast we got Ben Smith in the house.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, I tried to captive audience there with the fucking mic earlier, dude. I pinned him up against the couch.
It's all right.
Dude, you're not fucking moving, bro.
I don't want to.
That's excellent, dude. Coming off the probably the most overrated storm of all time, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Hurricane. Well, it was a tropical storm, though, right?
Yeah.
Which I guess means less than a normal storm.
What was it
I'm
called?
assuming.
Is
Isaiah.
Isaiah, yeah.
Isaiah.
Isaiah Thomas, a little storm.
There you go.
Really? Is that real?
Well, he's a basketball player. He used to play for the Celtics.
You know
He's a
what's
little tiny dude.
They go in alphabetical order for each year, right? So like that means that we've had, I guess, what letter of the alphabet is I? A, B, C, D, E, F, G,
I thought they
H.
just did like the next letter whenever a new one came up.
That's what I was saying.
Oh, okay.
So we're on the 9th storm of the year, but this is the first one I've heard about.
Oh, do they start back over at the new year? Like
They
if
have to.
If they end the year on Garrett, they don't go to
They don't go to
they don't start
Herman
with-
next
yeah,
year.
Herman.
Hurricane Herman.
Yeah.
No, I think they start back at the beginning of every year. Because there's 26.
Damn, dude, I would hate to be a late bloomer with a name like Zach or something or
Dude, but there's some cool ass names like
I can't wait till Hurricane Zebra.
it's my chance.
I don't know why they went with names though, because there's only like so many names you can do, and they took up like all the normal ones at the beginning. Like Andrew was in the 90s.
Yeah. Well, like early 2000s, they switched to like Latin American names.
Yeah,
Which I think like that was kind of like strategical. Like
yeah.
we like as a country behind the scenes, all the people pulling the strings were like, well, we can't have black people be the bottom ring anymore.
Yes.
Now we gotta have Mexicans be it.
I think it's the same premise that they do with the Wuhan
Hurricane
virus.
Sanchez.
Dude. Yeah, they want to pin the blame, dude. This is the fucking Latin American storm.
You start
Make no
naming-
bones about it.
Start naming them after rappers. That would be cool. That's
Heard-
not
That'd be
real
cool.
name. Ty Dolla $ign.
I mean,
whatever.
Twista kind of has
I like that.
the
That's-
monopoly on.
True.
Dang. That stuck me, dude. That was good. Oh, meeting adjourned.
Hurricane
All right.
Tory Lane's out this bitch, dude. It's raining bullets out here.
Yeah, dude,
hurts.
shrapnel everywhere.
Oh man, how you been, dude? I haven't seen you in a minute.
I thought hurricane season was over. That's funny. That's Pineapple Express. I'm sorry. I've been good though.
Good. Last time I saw you was at the I saw you at that. What was it? It was Don't Stop Comedy, right? It was at the Airbnb in Fells. It was one of the most recent one that I was at.
Yeah, no.
And I walked in and you were like, "Damn, Jimmy, you got big as shit." And I was like, oh, "Thanks, dude."
Yeah, I mean, we pulled out a tape measure earlier. You're 6 foot. He's 6'2". That's big as shit.
First of all, I'm
compared to-
6'2", dude. Eric's trying to fucking subliminally
Jimmy's
convince me I'm
6'1".
shorter than him. I'm
Jimmy is
6'2",
6'1".
bro.
Well, I believe Eric.
I'm 6'2". He's 6'2"
What does
and
it
an
say on
8.
your license?
6'2", but that's
Well,
because
they don't check.
they don't check.
Hey, whatever. Yeah.
That is the weirdest thing that they just don't check when you go in there. Like, how much do you weigh? I don't know, 190. Put down 190.
Yeah.
I don't know. I forgot to weigh myself. But the only thing they really check is your birthday.
Yeah, I've been.
Well, they
one-
check your eyes. They make sure you can see first. Other than that, they're like, well, if you can see, then you probably know how to read a scale or measure.
Oh, I thought you meant they check your eye color. They're like, all right, we'll take your word on the fucking height and weight, but go into this room. We're gonna
Clearly,
examine your
brown
eyes.
eyes. They're
Like,
not
I
green.
have
Not a dark
haze.
green.
That's
Stop
what-
lying to yourself.
That's for organ donors. They get to pick their eye colors.
Are you guys organ donors?
True.
Huh?
Are you guys organ donors?
Yeah, of course.
Really?
Yeah.
I am too.
So selfless. No, I'm very selfish.
say that
I'm
one.
not an organ donor.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because if you're an organ donor, they like try to get you to die.
That's what I think too. But
Yeah.
that's why I'm an
Trying
organ.
to die. Like, I don't, yeah, what are you guys doing? It's gonna happen no matter what. You might want to help somebody.
That's true, dude. That is a conspiracy theory that I actually kind of semi believe, but not enough to like change my license over it.
Yeah,
much
but
of a
okay.
hassle.
So how would they be trying to kill you? You're saying if you go to the hospital, they're like, "Hey, we don't got nothing for you."
There's a lot of money to be made in the organ industry.
Well, yeah. If you
So,
sell your
like-
kidney, that's like $5,000.
Exactly.
That's why I only got one.
Exactly. So you go in the hospital. I
You
feel
already
like,
know.
You already know.
But it was a personal choice. Nobody tried to take my kidney. I was like, have it.
That's
It was a personal choice. I woke up in a hotel bathtub with ice. And I can't remember the night before. I kind of assume I put that there myself.
I went in with a sprained ankle. Woke up at a Holiday Inn.
Ankle totally fine though.
They fixed that. Turns out the problem was my kidney.
Yeah. Bad kidney, apparently.
Oh, no, it's good kidney.
They didn't want my bad kidney.
Yeah, exactly. It's not
Yeah.
the bad one. Shit hurts.
This one's going to shit. It is weird that like we do have like 2 of most organs. We have 2 kidneys, we got 2 balls, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 sides of our tongue. I wonder if we only need one side of our tongue.
2 nostril holes.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing is that you only breathe through one at a time, which is the only organ in the body that I think just takes a day off like per nostril.
Yeah, I think it's even shorter than a day. It's like every couple of hours they switch.
Yeah, and when you have a stuffy nose, you can always tell because it's just like one side stuffy, then you get used to that side being stuffy, and
then
it's the
all of a
worst.
sudden,
It's the
like,
worst
wait,
when
why
you're
is this
yeah.
one clear now?
Because I'm a side sleeper. I go to sleep on my side. Usually, depends on the night, but most of the time, side sleeper. And every like 20 minutes, I got to wake up and switch over, depending on which nostril's taking the night off.
Damn, bro, you gotta be tired every 20 minutes.
When I'm sick, dude, I hate being
when
sick,
you say, I
dude.
thought you meant every night.
You know what-
I'm like,
you know-
that's a disease.
You know what?
Check it out.
You know what really works, dude? That you would never think actually. I always thought it was a myth, but those fucking breath strips you put on your nose.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about? Those
It's
fucking
like
things?
the foot pads.
Yeah,
breather
do
right?
foot
They
pads work?
actually work.
Like the gelin, the Dr.
Oh, not
Scholl's.
the gelin. Hey,
Wait,
you
what's
gelin?
I'm gelin, baby.
The Japanese foot pads. You know, they get dirty all at the bottom if you put them.
Oh, it like sucks your toxins out or
Yeah.
whatever.
That
I don't
really
know if
works.
That works. That might not be real.
But you still do it? Or?
No, hell no, I don't do it.
Damn, my toxins look a lot like dirt and sand.
Yeah, I just
And
walk
puddle
around
water.
barefoot. Hopefully something happens.
You're sucking up the toxins from the earth, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to help. Do
Well,
my-
you got full. Your tank got full. You had to empty it out so you could pick some more up.
and I need-
There are certain things that I think, like, do you know those fucking things that you put on your nose, like that vacuum shit that like sucks out the blackheads that like girls do, where they do that like black smeary shit that they put on the nose?
Yeah, charcoal mask.
Yeah, and then it hardens up and you just peel it off
I've
and it
done
like
that
peels.
before.
Yeah.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Because I feel like as dudes, I just thought you're supposed to have blackheads. I never like
Yeah,
looked into
no,
it.
I
I
think
was
it's like
I just squeeze my nose every once in a while. I'm like, whoa.
yeah, when you get too close to a mirror and you're like, damn, all those are on my
This
nose.
shit's HD or like 4K.
Blow your nose too hard and you're like, what the fuck is this?
I'm having fun already.
Yeah, I used to legit think I know like I only get like one whitehead every like 2 months, and as I get older,
That's
sometimes I'll
just like a regular pimple, right?
yeah. Whitehead is like the ones that I care about. Nobody really cares that much about blackheads.
Yeah.
And then I get like one. Sometimes I'll get like one that like never comes to a head, and it's just like in my face, and I can
yeah, it's just
feel it.
sore.
Yeah, and it sucks.
That's a
dude.
boil, bro.
A boil.
Yeah.
But it goes away.
It does, and
Do
like
boils go away?
Huh?
Do boils go away?
Yeah, you just gotta put a little extra work in.
Oh, okay.
You gotta go to a CVS. That's the extra work you got.
I've never done
Patient
that.
first.
My face
Welcome
is
to Walgreens.
my face is still boiling, dude. My face is always that
Ooh,
constant.
it's hot in here.
212 degrees Fahrenheit up on my fucking right cheek, dude. Unbelievable.
Well, if you watch it, it will never boil, so that's all right.
There you go.
That's true.
Damn, dude. Coming in with some philosophy. Have you been doing a lot of philosophical readings in the
You mean like
quarantine?
soul searching? Yes, but just reading in general. But
Okay.
like I told, really, I've only read one book and a half, and I feel excellent, dude. 'Cause compared to the rest of the 26 years of my life,
Yeah.
there was no book.
Yeah, dude. I'm in the same boat. I think outside of school, I've
Yeah.
probably finished like one book in my life.
Yeah.
I'm halfway beyond you, bro. 150% improvement.
It doesn't really matter how many you finish. It matters how many you start, dude. If I made it through the first
so, bro.
chapter of any book, I'm like, yeah, I read that book. I got the gist.
Not at all, dude. I just read this book, Animal Farm. If you only read the first chapter, you'd be like,
Damn, this sounds
the
great.
revolution never even happened. Oh yeah, 'cause the end is fucked up.
Yeah.
yeah. It's like, oh, cool story.
Or
Then
you just read
whole
the
thing.
first chapter and the last chapter and just fill in the blanks, dude.
Read the first chapter, then watch the movie.
Exactly.
I don't even need this shit.
You're like, this is nothing like the book.
Yes, bro. I read it. Look,
The book was so much better, dude.
So-
Nothing of this happened.
I read the Animal Farm book, right? And I was way excited about it. I couldn't stop talking about it because that's
Yeah.
a big jump for me.
Yeah.
One of my best friend Ted, he was
Damn,
like,
how old is he?
he's like 33, 34.
Oh, okay.
And
He's like, yeah, 12.
He's reading it for summer reading.
Oh, you know my boy,
never going
Lil
back to
Teddy.
school.
I give him nookies in the shed.
I was imagining someone like our age though named Ted, and I was like, I don't know if I could call.
No, he's a little older. It's
Okay,
fine.
yeah,
you go from
exactly.
Theodore, and then when you get
Yeah.
30, you're like, fuck it, I'm Ted.
Yeah.
But
We're Theo.
he Theo,
Theo.
don't bring that up, bro. He's in
Teddy.
True.
Teddy.
But,
Is Theo Vaughn in trouble?
trouble. Oh, that's a good one, but no.
Oh, man.
Wait, who's Theo then?
Bill Cosby show. It's like his son.
Oh,
yeah,
true.
yeah,
The
yeah.
sun, dude.
Okay, yeah.
The son's not out.
So you made it through. What was the book you read all the way through? That was Animal Farm?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's
And-
the half book?
That's 1984. George
Okay.
Orwell, same author. It's
Going back through the
the
high
old
school
guys. Yeah. No,
reading list?
Nah, 1984. I don't think was on there.
It was.
Oh,
Probably
man,
not
that's for
anymore.
us.
Probably not anymore.
Now my school.
I think our
I re-
school. Our school had
A Mice
Animal
and Men.
Farm of Mice and Men,
Mm-hmm.
1984. I remember like having to get books out of the book room one time, and they had The Hobbit in there, but I don't think they ever let kids read it.
Yeah, I think Call of the Wild was on there. I read Call of the Wild all the way through. But what used to piss me off about that is I would actually do summer reading up until like 9th grade, and I think that was the last year I
Yeah,
did
well,
it.
when you got to pick your own books, I did summer reading.
Yeah, and that was also like, but then you would go back to school and like half the teachers wouldn't even make you do the report, and I was like, well, what? Or you would go back to school and then they'd be like, okay, well, we're gonna give you guys a month to read this book for summer reading now. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just wasted my whole summer vacation. I'm a slow reader, dude. Like this took me so fucking long.
Took
dude.
me my entire
That's literally what
vacation.
they invented SparkNotes for.
Yeah, I know. That was also coincidentally
Or
the time
just-
when I discovered SparkNotes.
Yeah.
What am I reading?
I was a genius back in high school.
Yeah.
And I never read one.
I remember vividly, we had to read like The Little Prince going into like I forget what year. Maybe like going into like 10th grade, and I just remember talking to someone like walking into class being like, what was that book about again?"
yeah.
And then just straight up writing like a full like page essay to be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yep.
I know what dogs do.
I can't believe he ended up on that planet or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Felt so bad that he was
That
so
was a good
little
Went
the
to the
whole
beach
time.
too. The beach is fun. Got pizza.
Oh, you read the Ninja Turtles?
See, I'm the opposite of you. I read 1984 all the way through
Yeah?
in school.
Oh.
And that book was like, and then I read half of Animal Farm. But they were both kind of dealing with the same
Yeah,
subject
rebellion.
matter. But 1984 is kind of like, I feel like that was like his, what's that word? Magnus opus.
Magnum
Yeah,
opus.
That's
magnum
wild. I've
opus.
been thinking of that word all day.
Isn't it a good one, dude?
That's crazy. Yeah, good.
I obviously haven't been thinking of it because I fucked it up.
Well, you're not either way. On the spot, that's even more
Good, dude.
impressive.
Yeah, dude.
Magnus Opus.
Stop. Stop. I'm going to get this wrong. Stop.
No, it's cool. I'm reading 1984 every couple paragraphs. I'm like, hey Siri, what the fuck is this word?
The thing that's cool about 1984 is like you.
Here, you're listening, right? You don't have to say anything.
Siri, just tell me the end. What happened?
Hierarchical. That's, I read that early. I was like, I know what it means, but explain it to me.
I'm not confident.
Get the gist.
And I always get super like hung up on those words too because I'm like, if I don't get this word, I'm going to miss the rest of the
No,
book.
no, I could context.
Siri, I'm just checking to see if
context
you
clues.
knew what it meant. I
Context-
know what it means. Siri, I'm seeing you're a dumb bitch.
Whoa, bro.
Let me just-
What's your profanity?
You're reading a book about government spying on your internal life, and then you're like, hey, Siri, I'm reading 1984. And what is this word about Siri? It's like, I'm listening to your every
I'm
move.
talking about 1984 being recorded on I don't know how many cameras and 3 mics.
And an extra one. That's for good measure.
Yeah, we just have that one going.
That's a telescreen. That's from 1984.
Hey, Siri, can
straight
you
to
believe
language.
they're spying on us?
This
You
isn't
don't
even ours.
say.
The government just dropped it off one day, and they're like, "Just set it up. That's cool."
There's a lot of parallels to be drawn when you read a book like 1984, dude.
Oh yeah.
And you look at it, and when I remember being a kid and like reading it and being like, oh man, this is like this guy predicted, because he wrote it back in like the 40s, right?
Yeah.
And he wrote it about this time. I guess at his time was like 30, 40 years down in the future. And then you see all this shit like. They were kind of like, because that was like during the time he wrote it, that was like the time of the Nazis and the Communist Revolution, the Mao Zedong, all that shit like that. And so I remember reading that being like, oh, this guy is like predicting some dystopian future, when in reality he was really basing it off of the shit that was going on during his time period and saying like this shit's going to come back around.
Well, yeah, and from the whole start of time, he goes like, this is a cycle that's been going through. He says there will always be a lower class that doesn't really do nothing. They just work and follow along. Then you got middle class and then high class. And all the middle class does is try and replace the higher class and start a revolution just so they can be in power.
And it
Low
happens.
stays low no
It
matter
happens
what.
like way more often. Like I've been looking up a lot of and when I say reading, because I think watching an entire YouTube documentary is reading. I consider that reading.
Well, yeah, you turn the subtitles on.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I consider Parasite a book.
It's very wordy.
Subtitles are better.
That's funny. I like that.
But like it really kind of is, because it's like the only reason reading got so much clout back in the day was because that was the only way you could absorb information. Like
Yeah.
if Isaac Newton would have had YouTube, he probably wouldn't have read as many books. I guarantee it.
Absolutely.
He would have watched
Yeah.
way more videos. Like if Isaac Newton wanted to figure something out, he had to go to the library, write something down, invent calculus, do a whole bunch of shit.
I mean, but Elon Musk,
Does he read?
I'm pretty sure he did not invent Tesla.
Dude, I don't
watching
know.
a
You can watch
video.
YouTubes in Tesla.
Yeah.
You don't think he
big
watched?
ass screen in there,
You
dude?
can also read a book in there. That's way not as safe though.
Audiobook off of YouTube, dude.
Yeah, but
That's
does that
fine.
even count?
Yeah, do you count audiobooks?
I don't know. Never done.
You got to.
Really?
People say that like
I've never
reading,
done it either.
it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I do it a lot.
Well, stop
I'm just
bragging.
afraid. I'm afraid to be an audiobook guy.
As the best person in this room, I do it a lot. And that's the best person in this room. Let me just tell you, I consider it reading. I really do. What's the difference? It's getting read too.
No, you're
dude.
right. You're
it's
right.
easier.
As long
dude.
as the imagery is going through your head, that's really all. That
I have
matters.
too much like fucking ADD
You're
to
using
focus
your
on a
ears
page.
instead of your eyes.
Exactly. And they say like it's better because it like I don't know what the science is.
Trying to help.
Thank you, Eric.
Now, what is an audiobook?
Eric's like, hold back up. What? What are we talking about now? No, but they say that reading like enhances your mind.
Yeah.
But I don't know the science behind it, but I feel like that the main thing they say is like, okay, when you read a book, you have to kind of fill in the blanks for yourself. Like if you read Harry Potter, you know, like you have to like imagine in your mind what the characters look like.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like a lot of
Like,
people
or, yeah.
that's why I feel like it's almost unfair when people that read the book go see the movie and they're like, the movie wasn't as good. It's like, that's because you're comparing it to this imaginary fucking thing you had in your mind, and it didn't, like, the way you picture Hermione didn't look like, you know, whatever the fuck her name is. And it's like, that's why I don't waste my time reading fucking just straight up fiction books, just straight up stories.
Wait, you said you don't bother?
I don't,
reading it?
dude. If I'm reading a book, I'm reading like nonfiction. I'm reading a history book. I'm reading
I
philosophy.
mean, I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm
but
saying?
It's like when, like I was saying, I watched the Animal Farm movie, and I've never done that, read a book and then watch the movie, and it was a horrible experience. And I much prefer to read that book because that was way fun. And like a movie is a set time, like it's like 2 hours.
When did the movie come out?
The one we watched maybe was like 70s, 80s.
Was that the
Really?
Maybe
is that
even
the
not.
cartoon?
No,
one?
not the cartoon one.
Okay.
That came out in the 50s.
Okay.
So it was like a live action. Was it Jim Henson? He makes a
You're thinking of
puppet.
Charlotte's Web, bro.
Huh?
I'm thinking of Babe.
And Babe was
Babe
good.
Pig in the City.
That'll do, Pig.
Eric's watching Babe. He's like, this is nothing like Animal Farm.
That doesn't even look like
No,
Old
no.
Major. Bro, how crazy is that? The first, like the dude that starts a rebellion in Animal Farm, right, is named Old Major. I don't know if you ever went, but there's an open mic at this place called Old Major, and their symbol was a pig. So I was like, I don't know what that's about. I read the book, and I'm like, whoa, I get things now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Nice.
I'm sure that's probably why it was called that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah, they also
just-
had like a bunch of like Trump stuff up,
Oh, no, that's why
no
I stopped
Obama
going.
stickers. And
Jeez.
So what set you on this fucking crusade to read now, dude?
Quarantine. You know,
Really?
you sit by yourself for a while and you kind of analyze. Like, I feel like for a while I've been just distracting myself with like outside world, like not even looking at myself. So sitting down reading, you use your head instead of somebody else's ideas, and I'm like, this feels a lot better. You know what I
I
mean?
feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Dude, you just gotta get the juices flowing.
Yeah,
I feel like
exactly.
at least for me, like I just straight up blanked out the whole quarantine.
Oh, see, I did. Well,
I like barely did anything.
see, I've been blanked out for years though. So this was, you know what I mean. So this is like the time I'm like, oh, I need to stop blanking out because now I'm like I'm sitting down with my mom, and I've been around my mom for like years, like because there was a while we didn't live close to each other, and I rarely would sit down and actually have a conversation with her, and now I'm like, I look back and I'm like, damn, why did I do that? I went years without like really talking to her.
Yeah.
And then I started talking to her. I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. And then I'm like talking to her. I'm like, I missed my mom, and she
Yeah,
was right
dude.
here the whole time. It's crazy.
The cool thing about reading books, especially like that, is it really, when you read,
Just makes you nicer to your mom.
yeah, that
And-
really
yeah,
is what I was
exactly.
getting at.
Great.
But like it puts in the same way that like, okay, so you walked into that bar, right, and you had never read Animal Farm, and
Yeah.
you saw this bar called Old Major, and you were like, okay,
I don't even care about
yeah,
it.
you didn't even understand where it was coming from. It was new to you,
Mm-hmm.
and then you read the book, and then you understand like, oh shit, this is from that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same thing like when you read like I said, I've been watching all these documentaries about like different like revolutions happening through that, and when you look back, like you go thousands of years back in history, and they'll do like little timelines, and then this happened, and then this happened, and it's literally like every 100 years or like every 80 years, I would say, like pretty much every lifetime, some kind of like crazy upturn revolutionary shit happens because it's an entirely new generation of people that have really lost connection with the same mistakes they made before, and it
Yeah.
just happens over and over and over again. And so I feel like when I've been like watching these things, you see like the French Revolution, American Revolution, Russian Revolution, Chinese Revolution, it's just like every fucking like it's happened. And the other thing is it happens kind of simultaneously across the world too. Like the French Revolution happened at the same time as the American Revolution.
Yeah.
And the weird thing about like the way we learn in where we learn in school, which is kind of why I don't really feel like I was very immersed in school. And part of that was probably because I was too immature to really care, as most people are.
Yeah.
Which is another thing that bugged me was like when you go to high school and they were like, oh, like when you apply to colleges, they based off your 9th through 12th grade, but not really because it's really your 9th through 11th grade because you start to apply to colleges in your 12th grade year. So it really has to do with like what kind of student were you from the age of 14 to 16? And it's like, are you really going to base my like aptitude as an adult thinker person based off of like my performance as a like kid who didn't even have armpit hair yet and how much I paid attention in fucking gym class? Like it's ridiculous.
It's a little unfair, but it's also like
what else are you gonna do?
That's how you find out like the cream of the crop, I guess. That's the ones you push forward, which is unfair because like some people go through stuff to the point they can't even concentrate in school. They're like, bro, I ain't got nothing to eat at the house. My parents are splitting up. Everybody's like, people are on drugs. And then you can't concentrate in school. But then the people is like, some people like overcome that, of course. But then a lot of people just like come from easy lives and then kind of push forward because it's a little easier. They can think.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the big thing that bugged me about it was that, not bugged me about it, but I noticed that was like maybe some people learn better this way, but for me, it was always easier to put everything into like one, because they teach in a very kind of compartmentalized way.
Yeah.
So you go into 9th grade and you take American government, and that's when you learn about like the Revolutionary War and you learn about the Constitution, Declaration, all this stuff. Then you might take music class, and that's when you learn about like Beethoven and Mozart. And then 10th grade, they'll go into world history, and they'll teach it like it's an entirely separate unit from the American history. But like, how come when I was 27 years old was it the first time that I realized that the French Revolution was happening simultaneously with the American Revolution?
I didn't understand.
And that all these things were intermingled. Like all these things, like, oh, that's why the 7 Years' War happened, because they were doing the colonial shit the same time we were doing it. It's like all these different things, and it wasn't until you get older that you start to realize, like, oh shit, like I was like the Revolutionary War was happening, French Revolution was happening, and Mozart had a #1 hit out at the same time. And like I never fucking put that shit all together. You know what I'm saying?
But maybe that's like I mean, you guys were talking conspiracy theories, but it's like maybe that's one of the things like they always say, like, you keep people a little dumb. You don't just give them the information. That's up to you to kind of go get. But they don't want you all like a collective, like, conscious kind of thing.
Yeah.
They don't want you to believe that's real at all, because then you realize, oh, we're all sick and tired of this shit.
Well, I don't necessarily know if it's like someone, like when people say like they don't want, it's like I never attribute to like malice what I could attribute to like just incompetence. And I feel like the school system, I don't think it's like a thing where they don't want the school system to be that efficient. I just feel like it just isn't. Because also you have to play, especially when you go to public school, like I think we all did, it's like you're catering to you're catering to the cheap seats, you're catering to everybody. So it's like, for a person who's actually interested in it, you're not going to get everything you want out of school by going to school. You know what I mean?
It's like up to you, kind of.
Yeah.
Thing. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds unfair, but it's like I said, the cream of the crop will kind of rise, because it's like, now if you don't put that initiative in to do that as a young person, you probably won't develop that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
As an adult, so it's kind of like, people see how people are over time. We've seen every type of person, so they're like, this kid don't care. Let's not worry about him.
Yeah, but also it's like,
well, it's just like kind of like a big like line at like I don't know. You kind of just get on like a conveyor belt where it's like, all right, you got to stand here and you can't get off. You're doing this every day, 8 to 4 or whatever, 8 to 3, and you do this for 12 years. And if you're a good guy, if you're a good boy, if you're a good girl, you'll get to do this for the rest of your life.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. That's what
like,
I was.
If you have any sort of issues with this, then the training has gone awry, and I guess I don't know, fend for yourself.
No, I mean, that's, when I was a kid, like I had a lot of stuff going on, and I was like, dude, the world is screwed. If I do good in school, I get a job. I'm like, I probably still won't be happy, so why even try? But then I didn't realize like life might be kind of valuable. like, oh, I got to do this.
Yeah, but I think the main purpose of school, the way I look at it, is like it's really two things. First, it provides you with an introductory level to all these different subjects, so that you can kind of figure out what it is that you might take interest in.
Yeah.
Like I really took an interest in learning Spanish in school.
Yeah.
But I didn't learn Spanish from school. I learned it from working at restaurants and talking to the fucking cooks and
that's-
watching the
yeah.
Spanish channel because the chicks were hot and I put on the subtitles and tried to fucking learn it.
That's funny.
After I was done jerking off, just learn a little bit of Spanish,
This
dude.
shit better pay off.
Oh, and it did. But so it gives you that, but also more so, I really think school it does a much better job of determining. I think those grades that you get are a much better indicator of how apt you are at fitting into a system than they are at how good you are at actually learning the material.
My dad
Yeah.
always used to say, like, college and school, it's just showing people you can do your chores. And I remember my dad saying that to me, and I was like, I hate chores.
Yeah.
bro. I was
Yeah,
like, so I
dude.
ain't doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, he always used to say, perception is reality. And,
Yes.
I was like, well, in my head, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, everybody else should think I'm good. And then I was like, oh, no, it's not. He was right.
Yeah, but the problem is like for people like us, I feel like we're you know, especially given the fact all of our different careers, we're kind of all in the same vein, like the types of people we are. None
Yeah.
of us have these like big corporate jobs. I don't know where you work again.
Just a small plumbing
Okay,
company.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Bryant Group.
Brian Group, Brian Plumbing.
Wait, let me bring Obed back. Yo, need some pipe?
But the problem I think that people like us dealt with is like, I was able to in school. I was able to understand the material and get it.
Yeah.
But that wasn't. I remember when we would get those rubrics and stuff. And in Baltimore, were you in Baltimore County or were you in Anne Arundel County?
I was all over the place, but I actually graduated at Virginia Beach.
Oh, really? Okay.
really?
Okay.
So,
I thought you were a Dirty Birdie guy.
no, I mean when I was younger, and then like the last few years. So,
Okay.
ninth grade, I went to Western Tech high
Hey.
school. Yeah, exactly. So it's like right outside of Baltimore, and then I moved to Virginia because that's where my dad was. Finished up high school there, and it was cool. But I don't really like Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never
Rather
been.
be in the
Never
dirty
been.
Bernie. It's cool.
It's cool. It's like it's weird because like I've never been to a beach that's set up like that, where there's like fucking 8 to 10 different beaches, and you have to
Oh,
get to
yeah.
each one of them by the highway.
Yeah, but it's like they have the main like boardwalk thing.
Yeah,
but-
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
also like it's weird because it's like a big beach, but it's kind of local.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I didn't really like it too much because it is very like surfer centric and like
Mm-hmm.
that kind of person. So like when I lived there, I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not my group.
It's also weird because in Maryland, our beach is Ocean City, and when I meet a person that's from Ocean City, that's like a rare.
That's
thing.
why
That's
I
like a
don't-
thing.
why do you
Exactly.
live
I don't
there?
It's
think
like,
I
yo,
ever
you
have, dude.
you straight grew up in it on the
Yeah,
boardwalk, bro.
Yeah,
You fucking-
exactly. Yeah.
Where's the school,
Yeah,
bro?
exactly.
You must really like fries.
Fisher's Popcorn turn into a school after the summer, or what happened?
How does this work? But like, it is kind of cool because when you go to LA, it's like people like, oh, they do just live in a beach town, but like in Ocean City,
Yeah.
it's like, but our beach people like,
But it like makes sense for some reason.
yeah,
It's like,
I think it's just
yeah.
it's more developed and there's more like of a population there. So you're like, oh yeah, of course you'd live here.
yeah.
It's nice,
You're
but
saying
like
Ocean City or L?
no, like L.A. or
Yeah,
San
yeah.
Diego or something.
See, I would live in a
Oh, yeah,
major
Ocean-
city on the
but
beach.
like
I feel like that'd
Ocean
be sick.
City, it's so, like
I
you
just-
go there for more than like a week and you're sick of the place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's literally sun poisoning.
Yeah, literally Corona.
And Corona.
Yeah.
I'm fucking.
But no, I hate the beach, man. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm part vampire, so the sun hurts me.
I don't know if you know this, but I believe that, bro. That's like if there was any of my
I
friends,
wouldn't lie to you.
if there was any one of my friends that I thought was part of Vampire, I'd be like, it's probably Ben, dude. I don't even
I'm
know
just
why.
happy to know we're friends.
I mean, not anymore. But,
Yeah, dude. Told me you're Filipino.
I mean, part. That's not a lie.
Other part's vampire.
Yeah.
Part I left out.
I'm the first Filipino vampire. That's
you might be, dude. You might be.
That's very progressive of you.
yeah.
You do.
It's 2020.
Nah, but what I was getting at is like, so Virginia Beach, I'm assuming all public schools, no matter where you go, are pretty much the fucking same, dude. I mean, I would imagine. And Baltimore County public schools is like one of the best, I feel like. we're
Yeah,
pretty
I
fucking
don't
sick.
think they're all the
Pretty good.
same because in Baltimore City they don't even got heat.
Yeah, that's
It's a
true.
little hard to
Exactly.
concentrate.
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
You're sweating your balls off.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Well, that would
Yeah.
be the air.
Yeah, and the water doesn't work either,
Yeah.
so you can't even get water to cool off.
Like Flint, Michigan, every kid there, he's like, he can't even concentrate. He's go home. He's like, bro, it burns when I take a bath.
The entire school is made of lead.
Yeah. Said, today they served asbestos for lunch.
It's funny, but it's a very fucking
Yeah, I know. I feel
situation.
bad. I'm trying. Hey,
No, it's
I'm
okay.
trying to turn a new leaf, but some things are still bad.
Some reading doesn't mean
Yeah.
pussy.
Yeah.
Like asbestos day, like asbestos day at school. What a bummer.
Exactly. Yo,
Yeah, I read a book, but I'm not a fucking pussy.
my magnus opus is I ain't no pussy.
You're only about 1.5 books. I feel like you gotta get to at
Yeah,
least.
yeah,
I feel like you gotta get to at least 4.3 books before you start caring about asbestos jokes, dude. You gotta. Okay. You're still
Part
one of us.
Filipino, I'm part vampire, and then 100% not pussy.
100% not pussy.
Yeah, my mom.
Yo.
My mom was Filipino, but my dad was 100% not a pussy,
Yeah.
and that gets passed down paternally. So,
Not but a pussy is carrying the Y chromosome, I
Yeah,
think.
exactly. My mom ain't no pussy either.
Which makes us kind of all half pussy, dude.
No,
that was just an
100%.
Italian
Probably
guy.
a
That was me.
Yeah.
That was my Italian guy impression.
lot. Yeah.
Well, you're not
we're-
Italian, are you?
We were on that the Goodfellas
Gross.
show, so that makes sense.
True.
True, dude.
Very true. Yeah, man. So almost 2 books down.
Almost.
That's I mean, I'm
And a
literally
couple
at
subtitled
0.
movies.
Okay.
I rewatched Apocalypto and I was like, I appreciate it.
I beat
But I was mad at Mel Gibson again.
okay. I beat 2 games in quarantine, and I had
ones?
subtitles on. Does that count as
No,
reading?
that counts. I don't,
Okay.
but which ones?
Max Payne 3 I finally played,
Oh, I never even played it.
and then I beat Borderlands 3 finally.
Oh, was it good?
It was okay.
I liked it.
I like
mean,
Borderlands 2 a lot,
Yeah.
but like it didn't like capture the same charm.
No, well, because it's the third time over. You know.
Exactly, yeah.
Like,
And I don't think it was the same writer anymore.
I played Last of Us 2,
Mm-hmm.
and now Last of Us is one of my favorite games of all time. Like, I love that game. And then the second one came out, and it's like, I appreciate the story. I love it, but it's also the gameplay. It didn't change at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
And it was like, it was disappointing, but
Yeah, I heard a lot of
still-
people.
Yeah, I still love it.
disappointed.
Though. It was a good story. And Ellie is awesome. The girl.
Yeah, yeah.
Because her story in the first one, she like replaces Joel, the main guy, and you play for her only half the game, which is actually horrible. Because I'm like, bro, I played this whole first game to play this girl, and then I don't even get to play the whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I'm sad again. I'm sorry. I've been playing a lot. I'm replaying Skyrim.
Okay.
I wish I could remember the other one I played. Outer Worlds. It was made by the guys that made Fallout New Vegas, and I beat it. And it's a lot more like dialogue driven,
yeah.
like about like choices, like
Yeah, it's like a Fallout game.
yeah,
kinda.
exactly. But it was cool, but wasn't that good. I don't know why I brought it up because it was fun.
That's cool. Yeah.
I just got an email about a class action lawsuit against Google
Ooh.
that I may be entitled to serious compensation.
Oh, there
I
you
don't
go.
fucking know, dude.
I mean,
I
it
don't
was
know,
probably-
dude.
With the African prince. He
Yeah,
thinks he-
exactly.
This looks pretty legit, dude. I haven't seen a fucked up word yet, but there's a lot to read.
Who is it from?
Google.
Anyone
It's
that
from Google?
anyone that has Googled the words Magnus Opus, $30.
$30.
Whoever had their
Now that's
search
what I-
auto-corrected Magnum Opus.
It says Google no reply at google.com. Notice of class action settlement, RE Google Plus. Your rights may be affected.
Oh no, that,
And then I opened the email and it said, you are not being sued.
thank God.
And I stopped there.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, okay.
relieved. You're like, I'm not being sued. Okay, awesome.
I thought Google Plus was, apparently it's against Google Plus, which I mean, like,
Why is Google suing Google Plus?
for sucking.
Yeah.
Like, we thought this would be way better, bro.
Oh, that sucks.
And now everyone
It's
is
Google
entitled.
minus.
Google Plus was probably I kind of feel bad for Google Plus because like they really did think
Well,
that
they're
shit
the
was gonna-
first ones that tried to take out Facebook.
True.
And they tried to take out Facebook with another Facebook. But what they needed to do was wait for Instagram to come around, and then for Facebook to buy it out.
Yes. Well, Facebook did the right thing, and what Facebook and all the smart companies, what they do is, hold on, I turn myself way down. There we go. All the smart companies would do is, so like Facebook acquired Instagram, right? Instagram basically from that point forward, they acquired like basically a social media monopoly by like, so Snapchat was popping off, and they were like, oh, everybody's making Snapchat stories.
In the store, yeah.
Yeah, and so Instagram was like, what if we just made fucking Snapchat? What if we just made Instagram stories?
I mean,
And
that's what the social network is.
Yeah.
Everything. The
And-
movie, Mark Zuckerberg,
they
it all
just,
stems from something.
they did the same thing with Vine too. They were like, oh, you can make 9-second videos on Vine?
Got 50.
We got 15 minutes on Instagram, bitch. Bring it on over. And it gets to the point where it's like, for me, like as a millennial, we came up during a time when all these things were separate things. You had your Facebook, you had your Instagram, you had your Snapchat, you had your Vine,
MySpace.
MySpace, you had all different shit. So like for me, when I was making like a story, I was like, all right, do I put this on Snapchat or I put this on Instagram? Because you can't cross post. It's kind of weird.
I mean,
I do it all the time.
I don't even.
Yeah.
I only have Instagram just to keep myself from cross posting.
Yeah.
Instagram makes it easy though, because you can be like share to Facebook and Twitter and
Yeah,
shit too.
exactly. Yeah. See, that's not bad because it's like you want everybody to see it. But
Yeah.
not everybody in your family's on Instagram.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Facebook is much more. Facebook at this point is really just like it's almost like a ID. It's like a wallet. Like
Yeah.
everyone has it. Like if you don't have a Facebook, it's like I don't know. It's
What-
kinda, you gotta have
You
something.
gonna insult me, bro?
I mean, like you gotta have something. You gotta have either
I mean, it's
Facebook or
kinda just like a
Instagram.
Yeah,
modern
yeah.
phone book.
Yes, exactly.
or just
just
like,
like-
a all-day high school reunion.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's really kind of like it just makes life easier because whenever I sign up for a new site, it's like, would you like to sign up through Facebook instead of filling out this 17-page fucking application to join Imager.com to make one meme?
It's
I'm like,
quarantine. I got the time.
I think I'll sign up for Facebook, dude, and just get it out of the way, dude. But
ain't
like,
got
it's huh?
I said, you don't-
No, I have one, dude. You would know if you had one. Don't fucking accuse me of not having Facebook,
my
bro.
bad, my bad. I just want you to jump on the train. It's a fun time.
I actually didn't have an Instagram for the longest time.
Yeah.
Until
I like Instagram.
Well,
until
you did have an Instagram, and it had like one picture of you getting like a car bomb, and then you're like, I can't have an Instagram. Then you made a
Irish
banned
car bomb?
Instagram,
yeah.
and
yeah.
then you just made that your personal Instagram.
No, what I did first was I created Live from the Studios Instagram, and then that was just my own Instagram.
True.
And then you weren't allowed to open it up in public because I followed every porn star and thought ever.
Hey, man.
And also, I'd get like random notifications of like girls replying to DMs he'd
Oh.
send out, and I'd
that's
be like,
funny.
I can't really read this. Like, I'm gonna see what the notification pops up. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'm gonna see what this bitch says.
And everyone
Oh,
was,
yo, don't
but I
use that
won't.
word, bro.
why is this
Sorry.
podcast? Why is this podcast DMing?
Every time I see,
Why is this
Why is this
podcast-
podcast trying to hang out on Thursday?
I never even heard this thing.
why are you following?
yeah.
This podcast just sent me the wine cheers glass. I'm like, why?
Well, if you responded back, I could tell you why.
Yeah, getting my own Instagram is definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
That was a bit. That was like opening up a bank account, dude.
It really
That
was.
great.
It was huge. It was huge for me, dude. But like, yeah, but I remember at the time, like, I used to have to kind of decide, and now I don't use Snapchat anymore. It's weird how, like, I mean, I'll use it, but like, only Snapchat to me is like just for personal things. Like, I'm not making stories and shit, you know? Like, Snapchat is like the perfect missing link between nothing and a phone number if you're trying to talk to a girl.
Yeah.
It's like the most innocent thing because it's like, if you get a person's phone number, it's like, I feel like that's asking a lot.
No, I feel the same.
It's like, yo, can I get your number? She's like, no. That's like 10 whole digits.
No,
Fuck
let me
that.
get one of your social media so I can judge you
Yes,
beforehand.
exactly. True,
Yeah,
true,
yeah.
true. So
Works
Snapchat,
both ways.
yeah, it comes in handy for that. But also, I don't know if that, I feel like Snapchat's on the way out. I really do.
Yeah.
I don't have one, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
There
know.
we
I don't
go.
really use it.
I
The
like
only-
the little,
the
I
only
like the
people
little
that
ghost
send me-
symbol though. That's cool.
It's a good logo.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But the only people that send me Snapchats anymore is literally just Team Snapchat.
Yeah.
Like, we
Yes.
get, Happy 4th of July!
Yeah.
Thanks, Snapchat.
Fireworks.
You're the first one to say it.
I don't even like this holiday, but thank you.
Speaking of fucking apps, did you guys hear about TikTok this week?
Yeah, but is it actually banned?
I feel like, did you not hear
It
about
looks
this
like
at all?
Microsoft is trying to buy it.
Is China like taking info off it? Is that what it
That's
was?
what the accusation is, the allegation.
Yeah.
And apparently a bunch of other countries have issues with it. Like I think India did a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Japan's doing some shit.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, the thing is like the whole mantra behind the ban was like, oh, it like it's like a data mining thing.
Yeah.
And it like steals your information. And we were like, I was just like, well, doesn't Facebook do that? Like, doesn't Instagram do? Doesn't Siri do that? Doesn't all that shit? And I guess it was just like, well, they're American companies,
That's what, yep. I was about to say it's because
Yeah.
it's somewhere else. Exactly.
which is kind of. I mean, I can kind of understand that because it's like, okay, I at least know that. Like, I don't mind that Facebook. I don't mind that Facebook knows my shit. Like, I willingly put it out there. And like when I scroll down, I'm just happy I stopped getting wrestling camp ads 2 years ago. I was like, dude, how can you know so much about me and not know that I'm 26 years old?
Yeah, yeah.
Why are you
No, I
still
got you.
sending
Yeah,
me
no,
ads for
yeah,
wrestling
yeah, no,
camp?
I get that. I get
Do you
that.
remember when, I don't know if you can still do it, but there's like a I don't know, it was like a year or so ago where you could go into like your settings on Facebook and then it would like, you'd go into your ad, whatever, like ad settings, and then at the bottom it would show you what they thought you were based on like what you do on
Yeah, yeah.
Facebook. And mine was like 18 to 24 black woman. I was like, what?
Oh, that's what they thought
That's
you
what they
were?
thought I was.
I mean, that's a
Like,
compliment.
that's what they were targeting me
That's
with.
sweet, dude.
They thought I was that, and then they started targeting me with ads aimed at that demographic.
I can't stop listening to Cardi B. They got me.
Yeah, they got my ass.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Bodak
see-
Yellow is still good.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I don't like. See, that doesn't bother me though. It really doesn't. It's like that's fine, dude. Especially
Bro, you
knowing
said
that
you
the
read 1984.
But okay, so I'll just finish off this thought, and that's a good point. That's a good point. My point as it came to this is I at least know that there's at least somewhat of some kind of oversight being done by the government on these American companies.
And it's kind of inevitable.
Yeah, it's like, look, obviously every single person that has a pulse has some level of internet presence. And like, yeah, they're gonna have my information, and I don't really have anything to hide,
Yeah.
so it doesn't bother me that much,
Exactly.
Yeah.
you know.
That's it.
But it's like, so I don't mind if like American companies that are under the oversight of the American government, which not that I trust the American government, but it's like I trust them more than the Chinese government, you know. So like, if TikTok's coming, I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there, dude.
Yeah.
Sending me fucking ads for Chinese wrestling camp, dude. Like, nah, bro.
Chinese wrestling camp.
I didn't even want to go American wrestling camp, bro. Now you send me.
Your ass dressed up like Mickey Rooney.
Buy this whole wrestling camp for $30. Crazy.
Oh, nice Groupon.
But as far as what you said about, yeah, I read 1984, and I'm very much into that kind of stuff, like conspiracies, and which I don't even consider it conspiracy. Like,
Yeah.
yes, like the thing that I find so fascinating about a guy who in 1940 something wrote a book like 1984 in Animal Farm is that he, like, at the time he wrote that, they never conceived of anything like the internet necessarily, or that like they kind of looked at it as like, if you read 1984, they talk about it as like this little
They
fucking
have
like
to set up meetings to talk, and they
Yeah.
can talk in public, and
Yeah.
but it's like now everything you do is seen. Even if
Yeah.
you talk in public, it's like that's going somewhere.
But that's the thing that's like, that's the thing that I was talking about compartmentalizing information, is that like when you read about certain points in history, like in Nazi Germany, like the Communist Revolution, and like you read about it and it's not really taught in a way to make you be able to put yourself in those shoes. Like I feel like most people's understanding of like Nazi Germany is like, they just have this like, oh, I guess they were just evil. You know, that's like their only,
Yeah,
they don't
like
really
they're-
have.
They're just bad guys.
Yeah, they don't have a concept of like, no, like here's the thing, like it might be weird for you to understand now, but they thought they were doing, like the people that were, they thought that they were doing the right thing.
Yeah.
That was normal.
Yeah.
It was like it was like, that was like the people that were, that was like, if to be a person that went along with something, like you were just
following
going along
the
with that. And so right now you're the same person that goes along with stuff now. And so you would have probably been the same person that whatever the popular opinion was at that time, you would have been like, this is obvious, like I go along with these people because I'm outcasted if I don't.
Yeah, but I don't know. I wouldn't say that because you know, like I have a lot of different opinions that aren't always popular. So it's like maybe I would be different.
True. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
there's no guarantee,
Yeah.
But I feel like most people would fall into it exactly because it's like World War II. Hitler came to power because after World War One, Germany was screwed. They didn't have no money, and then Hitler was like, "Well, I got a way to get everybody amped up," and then it just took control because they didn't have nothing else to like look forward to,
Exactly.
nothing else to look to, which is sad. But thank God we beat them.
Yeah, thank God we beat them. But you learn about it. It takes that out of context because it's easy. Because when you write something off as if to say like, oh, they were just evil.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Then you
can't
don't
learn from it.
You can't learn from it, and then it allows itself to repeat because in the same way that like when you read a book like 1984, you're like, oh, that shit's crazy. You really think people would let people put something in their house and let them do all this on a screen? And then it's like, dude, look at your
Siri, what's that word mean?
Yeah, exactly. You can't even imagine it because you think when something like
You got
that
a phone
happens
on you at all times.
all times.
dude.
I am constantly on the grid no matter where I go.
Yeah, they
And
don't dress it.
They literally don't need to chip any person because
No.
people are willingly chipping themselves.
Absolutely, but we're getting the chip. And what's the Elon Musk thing? I forget what he said. He was on Joe
Like
Rogan.
the eyes shit.
Talking, no,
or the
like
Neuralink. Or
yes,
whatever.
Neuralink, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the future, and we're all going to be
Future.
screwed. We're going to be fighting cyborgs and
Cyborgs
like,
and shit.
AI.
Yeah.
I can't fight
Come
a
on,
robot,
Give me a
dude.
break.
I just started reading books.
They fucking first day of war, they get a day one patch. They learn all the enemy tactics.
You come friends with a robot. You can't even hang out with it for 2 days. You're like, your Wi-Fi sucks, dude. Hurry up.
But that's the crazy thing is like people in Argentina, like when Eric and I stayed up last podcast and we watched the entire Rogan and Post Malone podcast. I don't know if you watched the one with Post Malone on it. It was good, dude. And I kind of went into that
It's
just
funny.
Congratulations.
Fucking congratulations.
It was-
We only watched. I think I had to go home at some point.
Yeah.
But it was like a 4-hour podcast. I think we watched
he's been
like
doing, like,
three
crazy
or three
long-
and a half
yeah.
hours.
Was it good at all?
Yeah, it was funny.
it was funny, dude.
It
It was
made me actually like Post Malone a little bit more.
That you get to talk to him, because I always had like, I don't mind some of his songs because like he can play instruments and
Yeah.
he can do a little bit, so I don't totally hate him. But like what gets me is his dad worked for the Cowboys, so then he started doing like borderline rap music and like kind of ate off like the culture basically, and then now he's like famous and a pop star. You know what I mean? So that always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But,
Well,
Yeah.
if
mean,
he's sitting with Joe Rogan,
I feel
he has
like-
to be kind of cool.
I feel like the problem with that though is I don't think he used the culture to like pole vault himself, I guess, because even like his old rap stuff was pop. Like White Iverson is straight up a
you're
pop
right.
song.
You're right.
But
The braids,
because of the way like the music industry is set up,
yeah.
like that's the bigger problem. I don't think he used his whiteness to his advantage.
yeah.
I think the people who signed him or like record producers
No,
that
that
found him, they used his whiteness to their advantage.
No, that actually makes a lot of sense.
I mean-
and the fans that are gonna listen to that are primarily white, so it just is what it is. He's not,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess, not eating off of anybody else. I guess.
Yeah, that's the
If
other thing.
anything,
It's
he
like it's
helps
not like
out.
there's a shortage of black artists in Hollywood. It's not like Post Malone is like taking the spot of somebody. It's like I never understood. Like I was never a big fan of Post Malone. I don't really listen to his music
Yeah.
that much. I was very much indifferent to him.
No,
he always
that
seemed
makes
like a
sense.
cool guy because he smokes Camel Crushes and drinks Bud Light, which
Yeah,
is what I
yeah,
do.
Exactly.
And I was like, that's a cool guy. And then I saw him on Rogan. I was like, this just really seems like a chill ass dude.
No,
like,
exactly.
and he's making music. I don't think there's some calculated thing in his mind. Like, I'm gonna make this type of music and I'm gonna be this type of way
No,
so that I can like leech off the culture. And it's like, I really don't. I don't.
Yeah, but it's kind of like the perception is reality kind of thing. It might not be reality, but to me, it's like I've kind of seen how things work, especially with like a lot of white art. Like I like Justin Timberlake is cool, but he's always like doing things that like songs with certain people like Jay-Z or like whoever, and I'm like, bro, you were in NSYNC. What kind of flip that made you do this? You know what I mean? And it's
Timbaland.
not, but it's no, you're right.
Yeah.
But it's like it's not a bad thing, but that just is what goes through my mind because it's like I'm always scared that like what you said is happening, that somebody's spot is getting taken, which probably isn't necessarily
Of course
true. It's
not.
just me being paranoid, probably.
I almost
Yeah.
feel like there's
I
one.
mean, I feel like everyone can get into those kind of like thought patterns
Yeah.
though. But I don't know. It's I feel like at least for me, as I get older, you kind of
That
realize
people
like
are doing their own thing, and
well, but also like the tiny little like pond you thought you were in is actually like literally all ocean, and you're like, oh no, there's space for
yeah,
everyone here.
no, absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. No,
And like, there's almost in the way I've seen it, I feel like there's room for like a couple white rappers at any time.
No.
Like there was like Eminem, and then he was like the white rapper for like the longest fucking
Yeah.
time. And then you had like other guys, you had like Macklemore, but like I'm talking about like
I was about to say
mainstream.
Mac Miller.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
mainstream guys. Cause like there's there's a ton of white artists that make hip hop that no one says
No,
shit
yeah,
about.
you're right.
People
Yeah.
say shit about Post Malone because he's the biggest.
No, you're
and so
right.
nobody says shit about Black Bear. You know, even though like who the fuck is hating on Black Bear? He's doing the same shit.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I'm not hating on it. I ain't listening to it.
me neither. Me neither. I don't listen to Black Bear.
yeah,
like
yeah,
like I
yeah.
don't listen to really that kind of music.
No,
like I
exactly,
listen
yeah.
to I listen to it, but that's not like I'm not sitting there like when Post Malone's albums drops like, oh hell yeah, let
I'm
me
right
fucking
there
get that shit.
listening.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
yeah.
so it's like it really doesn't. I have no leg in the race.
Yeah.
But I just kind of it sucks now that I see a guy who like genuinely does just I just feel like he just makes his music and he fucking does shit, and then like there's always gonna be that element of people that are gonna be like, you know, we don't like you.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
only a
Well,
select.
people are trying to find the new like fucking Nickelback or Creed
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
they're trying to find like the one like they're trying to find like the bit. They're trying
Yeah.
to be like, oh, Post Malone, yeah. He sucks. Oh,
Yeah,
you listen
yeah,
to Post Malone?
And also,
What are you, a sheep?
It's like it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, you like Dane Cook?
Yeah, exactly.
Come
Yeah.
on, dude. He fucking sold out Madison Square
Yeah,
Garden
no,
11 times in a
absolutely.
row.
yeah.
But
Loser.
it's kind of like the it's kind of like the like Forrest Gump thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even in my head, I think about it and I'm like, I don't know if I like this movie. But then I sit down and watch it and I'm like, I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if
I like the
listen
book
to a,
better.
Yeah. At least the first chapter.
No, and then Tom Hanks, take it away.
I get the gist. He's dumb. She's a bitch.
Yeah, he
Got
like
it.
some girl that got raped or something.
Oh no! Who has AIDS?
See, I just don't. Sometimes I just have I have natural aversion to two things. I have a natural aversion to liking stuff that's super popular. I'm the same way. Like if something gets too popular, my inner hipster takes over, and I'm like,
sure.
dude, fuck that shit. The other thing I don't.
Oh, I was just gonna say, dude, there's been a point in my life because what you just said, like people hate like popular music. I would always listen to like my pocket of stuff I listen to, but I would also like listen to pop music just to be like, ha, I know both.
Well, like it would come on the same radio
Yeah,
stations and
yeah,
shit.
exactly.
So like like 11th grade, 12th grade, I was fucking bumping Taylor Swift when that shit came on.
Bumping.
Yeah, dude.
Bumping.
All right.
Every dude secretly loves like that kind of music.
I'm trying to think of my Taylor Swift.
Well, I mean, you got.
probably like I don't know what. Do you like Billie Eilish now?
Come on.
See, I don't fuck with Billie Eilish,
No?
bro.
No, hell no.
I like 2 of her songs.
I was about to say I never really listened to her. I'm trying to think. Nah, I ain't even got one. Never mind. Taylor Swift's cool. That's why I got Kanye. You're wrong.
I
Say,
like
love
old
you.
Taylor Swift. I like old Taylor Swift. I haven't heard any of her new shit.
What, Romeo and Juliet? Is that one? Something like
Maybe.
It's a love story, baby. Just say yes. That's a good song, dude. I mean, that's a good song. And there's a couple new ones she came. I've heard from some very reputable sources, like musicians that I respect a lot,
Yeah.
that I play with and know, that said that her most recent album, like Folklore, is super fucking good.
No, that's-
Obviously it's produced by like a bunch of producers, like the best in the business, and so like how could it not be good? But like, you know, I haven't listened to it because I can't just imagine myself just hunkering down and just popping on
Getting
the
home,
new
pouring
I was about
up
to say, I'm working on a
glass
lot
of cherry wine.
a lot of music and a lot of movies that got pushed back from the 70s. So I'm catching up.
Yeah, and I think
about
the
to-
record store's closed.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah,
listen to any music.
I was about to say I just started listening to Lauryn Hill and Erykah Badu. I always like figured I would be interested in them, but I'm like I got a lot of time now, so I buckled down and listened to them. And I'm like, God damn, I've missed out. Like I'm 26 years like old, and I'm like, I could have used this when I was younger.
Yeah.
So, but they're awesome. I love them.
Yeah.
But Taylor Swift's cool.
No, she's cool. As far as Billie Eilish goes, like I've heard like 2 of her songs.
Yeah.
And I haven't been a big fan, and it has nothing to do with like the whole like culture thing or anything like that. Because
Yeah.
That
Well, 'cause,
I don't
I
know
mean,
what she does. For
I think the problem with like people getting too famous too quick is like in the back of your head, you're like, all right, she's probably like an industry plan or something. Like they want me to like her, so I'm not gonna listen to her.
No, I mean, but she's also like 18. Like I don't have nothing in common with a lot of 18-year-old girls. you
Yeah.
feel me?
True.
So I'm not gonna sit down. Like I appreciate she's making music. Like do your thing, but I'm not gonna listen to it because
Yeah.
I'm what 8 years older than you.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like the same
But
thing
they-
as like a book though, or like a movie. Like even though like every book or movie doesn't have a character that you can like put your shoes in or
Yeah,
your feet
yeah,
in their
yeah.
shoes, but like you still can like
Appreciate,
appreciate.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get that, but it's like
Look, okay, maybe I do have my period.
yeah.
Is that why I like Taylor Swift?
I don't know, man. I was at a time I liked her. That's fine.
I just don't. When I
Man, I was out of line. I should have
Yeah,
said that
exactly. I was
Taylor
like,
Swift.
Eric, I like you, so whatever you say, I'm gonna like Taylor Swift with you. That's what I usually do. Whatever you like, I'm gonna like.
what my biggest aversion is to things when I don't feel like okay, so there's been a trend in hip hop recently,
Yeah.
where that like hip hop is like very much going in this kind of like or was, I don't know how much it is now. I feel like it's
Emo,
kind of cycling,
yeah.
but emo, very much going in this emo direction, which to me is like, again, it's another one of those things where like to the kids that are like 10 years behind us
Yeah.
that weren't in middle school and shit and seeing all the fucking scene kids with the straightened hair down their thing and everyone's and singing like this and blah blah blah, kill me.
The scary
It's like
stuff,
yeah, it's like to them this is like some new shit, like oh shit, like the subject matter and like the vulnerability and
Yeah,
like
but it is a totally different genre. you
it's
know
a
what I
totally
mean?
different genre, but when you see like one artist come out and then the next artist does it and next artist, it's hard for me to latch on to that because it becomes very apparent to me that it's like, oh, you guys all
Yeah,
just
there's a wave.
Yeah, you coincidentally came out and then all of a sudden everybody started singing like that. Like somebody's a fucking poser.
But that's what I was
Well,
talking
no,
about.
but all the people coming after the first person, they're the posers.
exactly.
What are you talking about, Travis Scott?
No, I'm saying
I'm saying like
Little Uzi came out and then Trippie Redd
No, yeah,
rode
yeah,
that
yeah.
same way.
But that's music forever. That's just
Exactly,
what it
yeah.
happens. But I was going to say like, as far as this genre go, because I like Travis Scott and like I just listened to this dude Gene Dawson. He's a lot like that. He's like 25 years old, so it's like around my age. And it's like I grew up listening to like when I was young. I listened to what my mom listened to. So Linkin Park was like I listened to them nonstop.
Your mom was listening to Linkin Park?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell
My
yeah.
mom- what?
Man, that's sick.
99.1 back in the day.
Yeah.
And I listened to that nonstop. And then Linkin Park came out with the Jay-Z album when they mixed their songs together. And I was like, okay, wow, this is for me.
Yeah.
And then I jumped ship to hip hop and
Yeah.
it's like, but there's still rock stuff in my mind. So I totally get how like somebody our age would be like, okay, the fusion is here. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's in us, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but also think about Linkin Park because Linkin Park was a
Was
band who had the rock, the screamo elements of rock, but they also had the guy that rapped.
That's what I'm saying.
That-
So I guess what I'm saying is like it's weird how we have this very like kind of like niche perspective on like okay, it's okay when this rock band puts elements of the culture in their music and nobody fucking bats an eye, but when other people do it, it's like very selective to me. You know what I mean?
I think it was like a black dude rapping though.
I don't think so. Linkin Park was definitely a bunch of
well,
all
he was a
whiteys?
different race. No, he was a different race. Dude from Fort Minor. I can't remember his name.
So what's the rule?
What?
I mean, so like, what's if it's
Well, Lincoln Park was a time there was no rule.
Okay.
Yeah, there was no.
They're breaking the rules.
Yeah, but now it's like, what are you saying as far as that? Post Malone is that?
I mean,
That's what I'm
well,
saying though. But that's why like I like
also,
Linkin
well,
Park and I like
hey,
Post Malone.
You're kind of. I think you might be going down a hole you don't want to get into because I think your argument might be done after I say this.
What?
Lil Nas X came out as like a country artist, but they pushed him out of the country music like Billboard charts or whatever.
But would
I don't necessarily know if that's a fair comparison, only because first of all, I've gone to a lot of I going like gigs I play and stuff like that to a lot of country bars and stuff, and they play the shit out of that song and people love it. But B, I think that maybe there was an element in the country community, which I listen to country sometimes, and I didn't feel this at all, but it was very much like that song was clearly a parody on country like redneck culture. Like that was clearly what that was. but it was okay. I mean, I don't care about it, and I don't think most people cared about it.
It was just funny. To
But,
me
like,
because of the parody.
Yeah.
aspect.
Yeah.
But if you look at like there's been plenty of black artists that have been celebrated in. I mean, fucking Darius Rucker is probably
That's funny. Yeah,
he's
that's funny.
probably like one of the most, if not. He's probably one of the top 5 country artists of all time after he was in fucking Hootie and the Blowfish, which is all fucking like frat rock and shit
Yeah,
like that.
but,
And so like Lil Nas X comes out with a song Old Town Road that's basically like him just cosplaying a cowboy and pretty much just being like, take my horse and the tractor. And it's like, okay, I thought it was cool and I thought it was funny and most people liked it, but I can totally see it's like, is that really a country song or is that
Well, that's what it topped the country charts, and they took it down. That's exactly what happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
So to the Billboard charts, they would say no.
Yeah, sure.
But also, I guess I was trying to bring that up to be like they didn't do that to Linkin Park, but also Linkin Park was probably more categorized. Was that like rap rock?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people that were into rap probably wouldn't have listened to them. So
True.
it's probably just like rock at the time. But now you can look back and appreciate it for what it was.
Yeah.
And then like I was gonna say maybe like with the Darius Rucker thing and Lil Nas X, it shows like progression as far as our time goes. Like race barriers are. It is what it is. We got, like you said, Eminem was I guess like broke a barrier of some sort because
Yeah.
there was never like a white rapper besides Vanilla Ice.
And
Yeah.
that to me is like that to me is like the best mindset to go about it is because the second it's like okay, that's the way race barriers should be, in my opinion, gone in terms of music. Like if an artist is making good music in any particular genre, that should be the end of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and so like it's one thing if you don't like Lil Nas X's music, or if you don't like Post Malone's music, or you don't like this person or that person, but to base the not liking of them because like, oh, they're this color
Yeah.
and therefore they
Should be doing
doing this
Yeah.
thing. It's like, well, that's kind of a pretty divisive mindset to me. It's like, well, how is that? What kind of society are we living in now that like,
This is America.
I mean, oh, speaking of that, a guy that my brother works with all the time, Stephen Burden, he makes music with my brother. They put out like a song every month, and Fetty Wap just DM'd him
Oh, that's-
and was like, "Yo, what's up, bro? I see you working."
Now,
There you
how
go.
the mighty have fallen.
Eddie Wap, like, I'm doing a special right now. 10K a verse.
That is true. I wonder if that's the
He's
game
like,
plan there.
he's like, that was a misprint. $100 a verse.
I noticed you didn't reply.
I copied and pasted that from
I
3 years ago.
accidentally-
Sorry, bro.
I was hot back then. Trap Queen.
What the fuck happened to that guy, man? He
Hey, I said, what's up? Hello.
hey, what's up? Hello.
Are you there?
I heard you were Slim Thick.
How's it for reverse now? Got it on the low.
Oh, Look, that was just like
Remix it for low. That was a real line.
see, he put so much work into that one song and then realized, oh, there's not much left. You
Well,
know
they
what I
had
mean?
they had like 2 good songs.
No, yeah, but I'm saying Trap Queen. He like
Trap Queen,
when
and then
he was like coming up, he would go to the BET Awards literally with just this song and pushing one song.
Yeah,
so
dude.
eventually he took off, and then he's like, "Oh shit, now I gotta make more songs." You know how long it took me to make one song?
Yeah, yeah. That's the weird thing about it today is like, you know, because he was another one. He blew up off of SoundCloud. Post Malone blew off of SoundCloud, and like you can blow up off one song.
Yeah.
And like, dude, what if that was like your first song? Like, what if that was
yeah.
like exactly? And so it's like, so what the fuck do I do now?
Trinidad James, you remember him?
Yeah,
that first
dude.
song, dude. He just rapped for a couple months and then came out with the video and the song that was like perfect. And now, I mean, he's not around anymore, but you
Well,
can
he
definitely
has
get
like
paid off
a
of one song.
he has like a sneaker show on Complex's YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very weird.
Is it? You watch it?
I watched a couple shows.
What's it? He's just like, yo, this is a good shoe.
He's just like, I'd buy that.
Yeah.
Sometimes like show off a shoe he brought. He'll be like, yeah, these are kind of rare. Yeah, they're kind of hard to get, but I got my plug.
Yeah.
And they'll be going to the next guy.
He's got the what's the Back to the Future shoes? He's like, these things suck.
Yeah, I forgot to charge these.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the good thing.
Lost the charger.
Or he's got to stand by the charger. He's like, bro, I can't even leave
He's
right now.
plugged in the whole time. Got an extension cord
Yeah.
down to his heels.
That's funny.
The good thing about right now is that like I think we're in a time right now it's probably most conducive to just being able to put out a song and now you're like in the public sphere. Everybody
Yeah.
knows you, and
It's
you're
up to
relevant.
you to take
yeah.
advantage of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But like, if you have other
What
shit,
a lucky guy though.
Yeah.
Because he had that song, and then he won that lawsuit against Bruno Mars
Oh,
and
Trinidad.
got a ton of money off of "Don't Believe Me, Just Watch."
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
don't believe
Shoot.
me,
Yeah,
just
you
watch.
are right.
what was that lawsuit?
Her.
I know there was a lawsuit. I didn't know that was
Because, like,
Trinidad
he
James.
used the
Trinidad in
lyrics.
song. He says,
Don't believe me, just watch. N-word, N-word,
Yeah,
N-word.
exactly. I was like, and we can stop it there.
Ah, that's weird. I thought that was like a common saying.
Yeah, but it's like.
But he
bro,
also, I think, there's some other lines in it too.
I think there was a class action lawsuit because I didn't hear about that lawsuit particular, but I know that that specific song also was sued by this like reggaeton band, like this like Latin American band who had the like the fucking like
That's James Brown, bro.
yeah. There was I think that song was just an amalgam of every other good song for the past 100 years, and they
Yeah,
were
but
just
that's
like
what pop music is.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Like Drake is one of my favorite rappers. Okay, but like he samples like perfect. Like he sampled Lauryn Hill's X Factor, and it would obviously capture like older people's ears and the kids' ears. So it's just like the perfect blend of pop music. Just captures everybody. Kind of.
Yeah.
So it's like, of course, it's going to take inspiration from the past because
Yeah.
it's like. That's what pop music has always been.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
weird ones are the ones that do something different.
Yeah, and it's
But
also
Drake also does that too, and he doesn't really like do things different. He still does his stuff that got him popular, like the singing, rap, and
Yeah.
shit. But like he will now, like parts of his album will just be like, what if all radio stations, like all of the songs that were already playing, Drake just had a version.
No,
of it.
absolutely. I'm telling.
Very weird.
Was the Controller song? That's a type dance hall music. Like when that was popular, that's
now he's
exactly
doing,
what he
like-
did. The English, the grime
Yeah,
scene.
like,
That's what he's
grime
doing now.
shit.
Which I'm not really into that because I try and listen to English rappers, and I'm like, I don't relate to this at all. I don't know
Yeah.
what you're doing.
that's true.
Unless they have like a distinctive voice, like I
Man's
don't-
not hot.
yeah.
Yeah, or like that Skepta guy. Like I remember, like he blew
But
up.
he's got
He
a
blew
song
up
with
off
Drake,
that
that's what I know.
or not Skepta. Stormzy.
Oh yeah.
Remember he blew up off that YouTube video with like him rapping in the park.
I don't
It was so
I
fucking
know he,
sick.
like rapping with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But I'm not really into it.
But he has like a distinct voice. I feel like just the cadence alone,
Yeah.
like I don't think that's. And it's
The
just
flow,
weird for him to
that's-
be doing that too.
What?
He's like
Talking
going
about Drake?
Madonna. Yeah, like remember when Madonna pretended she was from England for a
No,
while?
yeah, no. Actually, that's actually way funny. And he talks in patois or whatever, the like,
Yeah.
Jamaican stuff.
Exactly.
Like, bro, we know you're from Canada.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of weird because like he does the thing that like white girls will get mad at their dad for doing. Like if they go to like a Mexican restaurant and they start talking a little
Oh,
Mexican,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. That's funny.
That is
code
probably
switching. I think it's
Code-
called.
Oh, man.
Drake's code switching. dude.
Yeah, it happens. Talk about the Matrix.
okay. I'll extend an olive branch for you for this guy for this one.
You want to go to Olive Tree and talk like Italians?
Yeah, no. In terms of music, one form of music that I absolutely cannot stand is white boy reggae.
No, that is.
I cannot
I didn't know
stand
that's
I
a
will not
thing.
stand
that. Like
There's
fucking
like
like the
Fish or
Dirty
whatever.
Heads, like
311, bro.
311.
I will not stand
those
Yeah, I
kind of
don't fuck with
bands,
that shit.
like those kind of like sing like it, and then they fucking like they're fake Jamaican. It's like
There's a new one, and he's like, all I remember.
Oh, 21 Pilots.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
get
It
it.
feels weird.
I can't stand that. Not because of anything race related. It's just like it's so phony to me. It's
Yeah.
like, bro, you're not like. Why are you singing like that?
No,
you're not
and-
from the Caribbean.
Music is a lot of like culture coming out into expression. I'm like, bro, what are you expressing right now?
Yeah.
That's not how. I mean, but then again, we might be doing because you said it's not about race, but it's also kind of like you gotta let people do what they want to do. I guess it's just not my
Yeah.
thing because I'm like, bro, there's real reggae. Like that might be the one you're taking a spot from somebody,
Mm-hmm.
like we were talking about earlier. Because there's definitely like I'm pretty sure actual reggae bands that are like maybe not, all black people, but probably different races all around.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
what 21 Pilots is
Yeah.
the one that's famous.
It doesn't bug me because of the culture thing. Because I, for one, I really do actually support the idea of different people. Like I like whenever something sounds like a bouzouki is a Greek instrument, and whenever something sounds like a bouzouki in a song, I get fucking stoked because I'm like, oh shit, like they like that sound and they put it in there and they're like, I get fucking stoked. I think that's important. Like I find it like flattering when people take elements of certain things and put it in there. The white boy reggae pisses me off because I just know that they know that that's what fucking girls want to put on their like parachute pants and go out to concerts with like a crop top and like basically like every hot fucking white chick is gonna fucking love. They know that.
That's what most people get into.
That's what most musicians do.
Yeah, bro.
No, but when you're
be real, Jimmy.
No.
How'd you get into singing at bars?
Bro, we were just talking about the podcast, sending messages to girls like, yo.
no. But here, okay. So here's the thing.
I'm just messing.
Obviously, getting girls is
but to sell yourself.
But
out
also,
that
to be fair, you started playing music before you were even interested in girls.
Yes.
So you started very young.
I started playing music before
I was coming at Jimmy.
No.
I was. Now I'm trying to backtrack.
No, it's fine. I was always interested in girls. From the time I can remember, I always thought girls were hot. But
I swear.
Yeah, I was like,
I always thought girls were hot.
Yeah, exactly.
Knock on wood.
Then, now, and forever. But like I started playing music before I realized that music would get me girls. In fact, I used to play music when I thought that it was kind of like a little gay.
Yeah, you thought it was like anime. I could never tell a girl I play music.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and then it wasn't until I was in like late high school when I realized like, oh, chicks are into like guys that play music.
Yeah.
And like, but so many dudes like started learning guitar in like late middle school, early high school because they were like, oh, this is a way to get chicks.
Yeah.
Like I was on that shit, and then I didn't realize that the chick aspect was even an option.
Well, to you, it probably seemed like a little nerdy or whatever because you tried really hard at it and you really went into it. These dudes are like, I'm gonna learn Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls, and now he's got some pussy. Like that's exactly.
Whereas I was like, dude, I already know Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls.
I'm gonna learn
and
Wonderwall.
I still didn't get any pussy.
Yeah, Wonderwall. Exactly. I told you no Oasis.
But like, there's two ways to go through music because the guys who did it for pussy, like those are the guys that always have that classic story. They're like, yeah, man, I used to sit in my room with the guitar and fucking practice. And my dad would knock, and they're like, turn that shit down. And I was like, no, Dad, this is my art, bro. Whereas like my dad was like, you better fucking go to your room and practice for an hour. And I was like, Dad, I'm never gonna get all this ass I'm trying to get if you don't let me go outside and play tag.
Sorry, Jessica, I can't come over. My dad's making me play guitar.
My dad's making me learn
Mikey's
Iris.
Gonna play the beginning to Stairway to Heaven 20 times in a row for me.
Yeah, this is how lazy I was. I would just turn music on. I'm like, listen to this shit.
Just pretend, play air guitar.
But look, here's the reality, dude.
Guitar Hero.
The truth is, if you get really good at anything,
Yeah.
chicks are gonna be into it.
No,
because
absolutely.
chicks dig dudes that
Are into
are into shit.
Yeah.
Mainly into shit, but even especially if you're good at it. Chicks
Yeah.
love ambition and passion.
Well,
That's
I mean, everybody will I guess be more receptive of somebody if they know what they're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just everywhere. And of course, to get women, it's like, bro, if you could sit down and have a conversation and know what you're talking about, and then she knows what she's talking about.
yeah.
Dude,
Everybody appreciates it.
Exactly.
Everybody
It's like-
appreciates that.
It's just you being interesting.
Yeah.
It's like,
no,
you're
absolutely.
doing things and you're good at it. You're pretty interesting.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it all
Who knew?
wow.
New shit.
But it all comes
had
back
no
to
idea.
for me to appreciate
Blanking out all these years.
It's been about 26.
Have you got any book pussy yet?
Oh, yeah. No, not even, dude.
See, but that's another
Use
thing.
my dick as a bookmark.
Book pussy, because there are so many posers in every game.
There's so many girls that have the fantasy of I'm gonna meet a guy in the park and we're both gonna be reading a book,
the same book.
But what's
and
wrong
then
with that?
instantly we're gonna
No, because there's the guys.
and
There's
how's
the
the girl?
There's
If
the
you're both reading
guys.
the same book, that's
No,
crazy.
because there's the guys that will literally put on a fucking.
finish the same book at the same time, baby.
I'm on the last page. I'm on the last
I'm in the four.
Yeah. He's like, I finished that the first chapter. Turn the movie on.
I'm finishing the first chapter.
I couldn't finish the prologue. I'm just going through reading all the chapter titles.
The title had me sprung.
You keep going. I'm gonna go back.
Is there like an Animorphs thing in the bottom corner I could look at.
Doing this for hours. This thing is cool. I don't know how it became a cheetah.
She wakes up next to you in the bed. You're just flipping it.
So did you like the book? Hell yeah, you seeing this?
There's so many dudes that will go to the park with like the fucking like beret hat and the scarf on with like the glasses, and they'll sit under like a shady tree with their legs crossed and read a book and do that because they know that there's going to be chicks walking around the park and be like, oh my God, this guy is...
cigarettes in their mouth.
Yeah. It's the same guys that go out to the park and fucking like just play guitar somewhere. It's
Oh
like,
yeah,
dude, we
shirtless
know-
dudes.
Yeah,
sandals.
we know what you're fucking doing, bro. And that's
Dude,
where
gold
it's like,
chain, white t-shirt, shorts, sandals.
Ball and shorts.
hoop shorts and white t-shirt.
Yeah. He's like, shit, I ain't even got nowhere to hold my phone, my wallet, but fuck it. He's reading his wallet. He's like, I'm 5'7", brown eyes. I'm an organ donor.
I like how I keep on getting shorter throughout the course
That's
of the podcast.
me, bro. I ain't talking about you. How did
Could have been talking about any of us guys.
I was like,
White
come
shirt,
on,
black
bro.
pants.
That is true. You did describe all of us.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
We all wore the same thing trying to get
That was
pussy
a-
for this
that was an
podcast.
ego check for each of you.
Oh, no, my gold chain. I forgot.
But that's how you know it's real, because it's like there are certain dudes that will do stuff, and then like if you write a song and you're like, yo, I worked on this song and I put it out there, and like it never even really occurred to me who was gonna like it. Like you'll think about it sometimes if you're doing something. It's kind of the same way with comedy, I would imagine. Like when you're writing a joke, I would imagine there's like 80% is like, this is funny to me. This is something that I think is like would make me laugh, and then the 20% is like you figuring out how to make that palatable to an audience.
See, I just made that transition. You feel me? Like, for a lot of my life, I feel like I did a lot of things just to make everybody else happy or whatever. Like, even when I would write a joke, say that 80-20 split you're talking about, mine would be 80-20 the other way. I'm like, do I think would make these people laugh? And then I'll kind of chuckle at it. I'm like, this shit is stupid. Like, even on stage, I would be like, I can't believe I'm saying this stupid shit. And now, like, I've been sitting down writing and like posting little things that are just like, I'm like, me and my friends giggle at this.
Dude,
like,
I
I'm
love the
laughing,
shit you
know
post
what
on
I mean?
Instagram,
No,
by the way.
Thank you. It's stupid, but it's
love this
fun
shit.
for me, kind of thing.
You fucking blew my mind when you did the fucking, it was a while ago, but you did the thing where you were like talking about something, you stood up and your fucking dick was tucked in between your legs.
Yeah, I
dude.
was worried about having corona. I was hoping a mangina was not a symptom of that.
But so I think it's fair when you're first starting out with any type of like art or any type of skill, whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're going to start off trying to mimic and trying to figure, because you don't quite
like
know.
emulate it.
Yeah, you haven't really
Yeah,
learned
yeah.
your voice yet, and so part of discovering your voice is trying out all these different hats.
Yeah.
And being like, okay, am I this guy? Am I this guy? And then eventually, what happens is you get so skilled at your craft that then you're able to use, and you're basically, everybody starts out as basically like a cover artist, essentially. Cover artist in music, cover art. When you first start learning guitar, you sit there and try to learn songs that you like. And you try to sound like that band. You try to get that same guitar that they have, or you try to sound like that comedian. This is the guy's voice. But it's the fucking people that take it to the next level. They go, okay, now I have all the tools in my toolkit, and now I can use that to craft my voice.
Yeah.
And we all see it. There's a word for it in comedy, and it's a hack. And everybody knows what a hack is. I love that comedy has a word for it because it perfectly describes it. You're a dude who is basically, it's not coming from you. You're doing what you think is going to make people laugh, and you might be doing it just for the attention and the pussy.
You ain't got to call me a hack.
When it's all
not
kind
calling you a hack.
I'm
I
joking
think
with
like a hack is like more just like, I don't know, like using very like tired premises.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
why I
It's like
it's
beating
literally
a horse.
It's literally
dead horse.
a hack. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You're hacking the system because it's easy to do.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I stand up there talking about like whatever, sex, some easy stuff, everybody's gonna be like, ha ha,
Yeah.
some shit joke or whatever. Everybody's laughing at that, of course.
Yeah.
But then you talk about something you are passionate about that maybe not everybody gets or finds funny. You're like, okay, but at least I did what I wanted to
Yeah.
do. So that's
Yeah.
where I'm at.
And then
That
you
feels
spend,
good.
and then you spend that other 20% of your. I don't know why I made up these numbers, but then you spend.
sounds right,
Yeah,
though.
there's a thing called the 80-20 rule,
Yeah.
which I learned about on a YouTube video, not a fucking book.
Yeah.
And it basically says that in any like system, 20% of the things, like if it's like a group of people, like let's say you're at an office, that 20% of the people in that office are responsible for 80% of the productivity.
Okay.
That like in most countries, 20% of the citizenry has 80% of the wealth.
Yeah,
like it's a
got
pretty
it.
much. So it's like, I mean, I'm just basing off that. So like, I don't know why.
But no,
Makes sense.
okay. So what you're saying, like
You read 20% of a book, you know 80% of it.
True.
No, okay.
True.
No, where I was
believe
like
that.
thinking where you were going is like, say, like you have 100%, and these are all the comics.
Yes.
20% is like not a hack, or like people
Yes.
that are speaking their own voice. 80% are either still figuring it out, or it's just not cut for them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's how I'm looking.
And I think people get angry at the Dane Cooks or whatever, which I actually, unpopular opinion, I actually fucked with Dane Cook
Oh, yeah.
a little bit.
I like
I wasn't
Dane Cook.
crazy about
I
him.
mean, we were all young.
Yeah.
He was great.
I watch him now. Like he's a good comedian. I always think there's an element of like the second you get too popular, then everybody wants to hate on you. Everyone comes for the guy at the top,
Yeah.
dude. It's natural. It's natural. So it's like okay, but like a guy like Carlos Mencia, he was a hack.
Yeah, but that's straight up thievery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Dane Cook was basically like Dane Cook was pretty much like the Chris D'Elia before Chris D'Elia.
No, I
kind of.
think so. Yeah.
He was like he was a hot guy.
Yeah.
Girls loved him. Girls loved him because most comedians are not hot.
Yeah.
You know, except for you guys.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And then
Talking
so
about you're talking about you and Ben, right?
Jimmy Selesky, comedian.
You're pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if Chris D'Elia is falling. I think Chris D'Elia is the new Bill Cosby. I'd say
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I feel like that's a better
Snapchat.
metaphor or analogy or something.
Has he
I don't
tweeted
know.
yet? Has that happened yet? Have you
Chris
checked?
D'Elia? Mm-hmm. No, but he's lost all sight in his eyes.
Oh Jesus!
Just like Bill Cosby.
Let's do a quick.
Prophecy's coming true.
That shit's nasty.
Let's do a quick our monthly check to see if Chris D'Elia has tweeted.
Well, now one of his buddies just this week got taken too.
Really? For what?
Brian Callen, I think.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh no.
There's some rape allegations against him. And then he put out like a video that looked like he was like reading a script where he was like, I call all of these lies.
You wrote a poem.
That's what I call him.
That's what I call
I
them.
call him.
No need for spies.
I did not touch that woman's thighs. I only gazed upon her eyes.
That was so touching.
She said my eyes are up
He's so
here.
sensitive. Yeah. But
Just quick, he has not tweeted since June 15th.
yeah.
If there is ever a way to say I am guilty, I mean, come on,
Yeah,
bro.
It's kind of interesting.
but it's-
well,
I mean,
I'm not saying I think
for
he's
any
guilty, I'm
other
just saying.
scenario though, like if he was getting canceled for an offensive joke, the same. I mean, I don't know. Like if let's say you or I were getting canceled for talking about this on the podcast,
Sure.
what would your thing be? I probably just wouldn't say anything for a while.
I wouldn't eliminate my public. So if we got canceled, if somebody tried to cancel us for a conversation we had or a joke that we made,
First of all, thank you for listening.
yeah, first of all, that would be the happiest email I ever got. Second of all, no.
You just got money from Google.
They're always listening.
Like, look, you gotta. First of all, I think that that's an inevitability in nowadays times. That if you are if you're truly being real, at points you're gonna say things that are gonna piss certain people off, and you're gonna have conversations that are gonna piss people off. And I'll also just speak for myself here. I've said, a lot of stuff that I'm sure if you went back through the 204 episodes that we've done this, including all the posts I've made on Facebook and everything like that and tweets, like if anybody,
Give them any ideas.
yeah, like if anybody really cared, you could easily dig up things, but it's like, I would stand by, not that I was exactly right about what I was saying, but that like I was coming from a place where it's like, look, if I said something in a free form conversation that you didn't agree with, it wasn't because I'm a fucking bad person. It was because that was my thoughts, and
I also thought no one was listening.
I also thought nobody was listening.
And also, it's like, Well, I mean, this is how I think about it. Like, the same with you. Like, if you go through my stuff or even just real conversations, I say a lot of stuff I don't even believe, I don't care about, just because
Yeah.
I'm like, this sounds hilarious.
It's funny.
Yeah.
And whoever I'm talking
Sport.
to,
Yeah.
y'all getting mad about this?
Yeah.
That is funny.
Exactly. Yeah. And the worst thing you can do, okay,
But then it's also not being real in my head.
Yeah.
So it's like, that sucks. But
the worst thing you can do, I think, is apologize for offending somebody. I really do
That's
think
the
that's.
worst
I
thing you
think
can
that's a
do?
bad idea because what happens
about
is
what Chris D'Elia did.
okay, but that's different though. That's different.
I'm just fucking with you.
I'm talking about if it was a joke in your act or if it was something you said on a podcast. I think or something you said anywhere, something you tweeted. There's obviously like specific situations that may
Yeah.
call for something, but as a general rule, the majority if you say something and somebody decides to get pissed off enough about it to make it a thing, you might have pissed off that one person a lot that motivated that one person to go online and start a crusade against you.
Yeah.
But the majority of other people that jump onto that bandwagon, they're not jumping on because they're truly offended by the thing or that they really think that the thing that you did
Show
was
support to
yeah.
that person.
Well, not even show support for that person. It's a much more selfish thing, I think. I think a lot of
They just
people
want to be included.
they want to
They just do it to be like, right, guys, right?
yeah, like
Right?
I'm a good person too. Look at me. I also think this is
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
Like I didn't care about this until it became viral to care about it, but now I care about it.
Yeah.
And now I know
It's
that
the
if
same
I
thing as like the Nickelback or the Dan Cook shit. Like it just is a thing that people say, and people say it to fit in without even knowing why.
yes.
Yeah.
And so when you
And not to, and
Yeah.
this is when I was thinking about this in my head, I was specifically thinking about those. This isn't to say that Chris D'Elia isn't a bad guy.
yeah.
I feel like
yeah.
he's done some bad stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, we talked about it at length before, and I would stand by everything we talked about at the time because at the
Hell
time
yeah.
we were working off the information we had. But now that he hasn't said anything in going on 2 months, I'm leaning a lot more in the direction that he probably did do some sketchy shit because
If it was merely just him waiting for it to blow over, he would have tweeted by now.
Yeah,
Or like
yeah.
anything. He would have done anything.
yeah, he has a lot to say about a lot of stuff. So the fact that he hasn't said anything about this, and I don't know if he's not done his podcast at all in the past 2 months.
Probably not.
I don't think so. If he's not
That's what
tweeting, he's
happened
definitely
with,
not doing a podcast.
The Brian Callen, he just said that he was taking a leave from his podcast.
Yeah. And that the whole sexual thing, that's a whole different can of worms. But as far as the whole
Which is
cancel,
the weirdest thing though too is you can't really if we got canceled for our podcast, it's not like they now own the studio or now it's their podcast. It's like no,
Exactly.
we could still literally just do
Yeah,
it.
we're not beholden to anything or anyone, and it's and maybe there comes a time when if we did get to
there's bigger stakes for
for people that are more
people like that, but
and the way I always look at it is right now we got. I mean, in terms of we haven't made a single cent off the podcast ever, and so
we got some free
we got some free
ball
stuff. We got some
shavers.
ball shavers and
We got
stuff.
some moist
I just used them
towelettes
today.
for your
Yeah,
nuts.
Nice.
yeah. But
Nice.
other than that,
coffee. We got the coffee.
yeah, we have nothing to lose. But if both of our goals is to eventually get to a point where people are actually listening to this and paying attention, then it's going to be inevitable that someone's going to get mad about something,
yeah.
and it's I'm not gonna sit there and because what we were saying before, you have the initial person who might be offended by it, and then a lot of the reason why that person is being offended by it, maybe it does really hurt them, but also there's a lot of people that there's this new thing where people look for shit that they can catch you on because they know that if you can say something that he did this and that means this, then you might go take off for that and go viral for it, and then all the other fucking leeches go onto that, and then it's
I was gonna say it's almost like they use these people as a symbol instead of an actual person.
Yes.
They're we got to knock down
Yes.
this because it sounds bad.
Yeah.
So they're if we knock this in, or nip this in the butt, nobody will do this anymore. But you kind of lose focus that okay, that's an actual person that just made a mistake.
yes,
Yeah.
And also I was going to say
It's also combined with the kind of stuff you were saying earlier, where there's only a couple slots, or people think that there's only a couple
yeah,
slots.
so you might have to create room for somebody.
Exactly.
there's a lot of different
Like
motivations.
myself.
Yeah. There's a lot of different motivations.
I didn't even think about this, but
Yo, really? You know what?
I came here to tattle on someone, but now that we're talking,
fuck Chris D'Elia, man.
love
For that spot, bro.
But what happens is when you apologize, then when you apologize to a group of people that wasn't actually that mad about what you said, much more that they were motivated by the attention and the points that they get for saying they're mad about it. When you apologize to them, it never ends the way people think it's going to end. There's no amount of when somebody gets canceled for a joke, there really is no amount of apologizing they can do, because the people that want to be mad at you are going to be mad at you.
Yeah.
And so the only time I would ever apologize for something is if I truly felt as if I did something wrong.
Yeah.
You're not going to make me apologize because you're mad about something. If I stand by it, I'm standing by it, because I know that if I apologize for it, you're going to say, well, that's not enough and fuck you still. And it's like, okay. And once you give them that, once you show that like nick in your armor, it really is blood in the fucking water, dude. The second they see that we got him here. Now he's stumped. Now he's on his heels. And then they don't look at it. It's not like if I did something fucked up to you as two friends, let's say, for example. Yeah. If I did something fucked up to you and I was like, yo, Ben, like, I just want to tell you, like, man to man, I'm sorry about that, dude. Like, I realized what I did was wrong, and it was a bad mark on my character, and, like, you know, I hope you can forgive me for that. Yeah. Then it's on you to be like, all right, how do I feel about this situation, blah, blah, blah. That's not the case when you're dealing with 4 million people on Twitter that are sitting there all half mad about this one thing until the next fucking trend pops up to number one. Yeah. And then they all forget about that and it's the next fucking thing. I'm not going to entertain that, dude. You know, with the sexual assault allegations, that's a different can of worms, because they're right now, as much as I was shitting
really
on
hurting somebody.
Yeah, well, you are really hurting somebody, but also for the people that get accused
that's
as well.
Also, like, not like for a lot of people, it's like, well, I can say whatever I want. It's freedom of speech. Yeah, like that's their line or whatever. Yeah, but like sexual assault is not freedom of speech.
Yeah, you can't do whatever you want, but you also
it's not like a basic human right.
Yeah. But
it's like you might have to say sorry.
Yeah. But
or we need to ratify the Constitution. We need a new amendment.
The fact of the matter is, like, when we were talking about how Justin Bieber handled his situation. Yeah. When you're accused of something like that, first of all,
if you know you're in the clean and you can prove it, you have no problem talking about it and giving evidence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and it's unfortunate because it's like...
Because, like, it sucks because, like, probably, like, late teen girls are fucking going through, like, a defamation lawsuit now because of it. Mm-hmm. Just for, like, the allegation alone and, like, lying and shit. But, like, dude, if you have all your ducks in a row and you're waiting 2 months to put out a tweet, you probably did something.
Yeah. Exactly. And those girls that made that false allegation against or not even allegation, accusation, that made that false accusation against Justin Bieber, they should be getting fucking sued their balls off. Yeah. Because you know, you can't, that you can ruin somebody's fucking life for that. And you can permanently stay, and if he didn't fucking do it, and you call a man a fucking, like, there's the worst things you can call a man are pedophile, then rapist, which kind of coincides with the first one, like a rapist of kids, then a rapist of adults. Yeah. And then it's like kind of like magician is pretty bad. But like
the third one.
Yeah, it really is the third one. That really is the third one. But it's like there should be consequences for that the other way. The problem with Chris D'Elia's situation and Brian Callen's situation is the only way that they could really prove that they didn't do it is by showing those conversations and being like, this is what I got, so what the fuck are you talking about it? So it's like, even in that, like, you should be saying something. Yeah. And the fact that you're not is...
But also, it sucks because, like, that's
that?
like the incriminating evidence. Like, at least for, like, Chris D'Elia.
Yeah.
Because if he's getting accused of, like, grooming underage girls, he can't just be like, no, check out these texts I sent her.
Just talking to him.
Yeah, look, exactly. No. I didn't even send any dick pics.
That's wild.
Yeah. And that's why you don't have conversations over Snapchat.
I just said I wanted to, like, snuggle and kiss, and don't worry. I was going to be very grown up about dating this child.
You know what's even crazier? He played that dude in Workaholics. He was Bieber Hole 69. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, and, like, you know, he's friends with Justin Bieber, so who knows how far these ties go
pizza
back.
Party or whatever it is?
Something, I don't know. I just know that, like, when Justin Bieber was going to, like, the Laugh Factory and shit to go see Chris D'Elia, I remember, like, he, like, off the cuff, and I don't think, like, in this way, but he was like, yeah, I'm just trying to, like, funnel all my fans to him. And it's like, maybe he would like getting all those 14-year-old fans funneled.
Yeah, that's a little weird, but hey, pedophile, he's the worst one.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a shame that he hasn't said something, dude. And
No,
that's
but-
just
Like, let him go away. You feel me? Like, he does. Don't tweet, bro. Go. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
Louis.
fine. I'm sure he's fine money wise.
Yeah, but not even that. Like, just go. We don't want to hear from you. Like, we already know that in our head. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
So, like, what I was like, Louis, which he's one of my favorites of all time, and he went through his thing, and whatever he may or may not have done, it was still probably a little gross. Of
course it was gross,
And
yeah.
even he went away because he probably was like,
Yeah.
damn. He thought about it and he was like, some of that shit's probably a little weird. And then
He also did come back though. And he
But
was
yeah,
like,
and
you
I
guys
said-
are kink
I-
shaming me.
That's what I said. I watched that special and that made me like, I was like less on his side because he was doing that shit. It's like, bro,
Well,
just
no, he didn't
realize you
actually
were
do
wrong.
that.
But
I feel like-
but he brought it
Yeah,
up
like
though.
he brought it up.
It was like being playful with it. It's like, bro, this is not a playful thing.
I think
you know
that
what I mean?
there's a because
Like-
the only way you can come back is by talk. You can't just act like it never happened.
Yeah.
You know, like it would be very difficult for him to make his first special after dropping off the face of the planet for a year and then just go back up and do a special. Because then what would have happened is the same people that would have been mad about him addressing it would have been the same people that were going to be mad at him for not addressing
Either
it.
way,
They would
yeah,
have been
yeah,
pissed
yeah.
off. There was no right move for him if
No,
he ever wanted
no.
to come back because they would have been like, oh, you're just going to go back to making millions of
Yeah,
dollars
yeah,
and you're just
yeah.
going to act like it never happened. All the people that you affected and you're just
Yeah.
not even going to talk about it. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so what was he to do other than say, okay, I'm a comedian. I'm not going to stop being a comedian, but this is something that's on my back, and so I'm going to go up and talk about it in the way that a comedian would talk about something, where he didn't necessarily take any of the blame off of himself. He said basically his side of it.
Poking fun at
Yeah,
the
like he spoke in his voice about the situation, said his side, and then it leaves people that like at that point. Then as a consumer, you can go, okay, I either hate Louis C.K. I think he's a piece of shit, and I'm not going to watch his comedy anymore. Or, all right, I heard what he had to say about it. He admits that it was weird. He doesn't necessarily admit that it was like assault or anything like that, but none of us were in the fucking room either.
yeah.
So it's his word, their word. It's a whole bunch of shit. He said his word, they said their word, and at this point, it's up to you if you want to decide to like him or not. But you got to talk about it, dude.
No,
you can't just ignore.
No,
that
you're
shit.
right. You actually
Yeah.
you kind of changed my mind on that. Good one. I like that.
Big fan now.
Yeah,
Download
Louis?
the news.
No, Jim.
I'm about to give him another $5 for that. But no, I mean, I don't know. It's all weird. Like, well, I don't know what I was gonna say. Just
It's in this day and age, you run across a lot of situations where what's up?
I was gonna say. I remember even Aziz got in trouble just for having conversations that were like. He was like,
Well, he got in trouble for like fingering a girl.
but that's what I'm saying. Like,
he was just like too horny.
Aziz.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
I'm gonna come quick.
But no, I was saying like.
little foreplay.
No, take it away. I like that a lot more.
I was.
Well, and then like
Th-
Chris
that's-
Hardwick got
Oh yeah,
two, but also I don't even know if that was like a real thing.
I mean, but even with Aziz's thing, it wasn't like he had. I mean, as far as like whatever, he had consent or whatever, but the
Yeah.
girl just felt like it's a little weird, which is
Like,
understandable.
I wish he cut
Things-
his nails.
Huh? Yeah. Jesus. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, no, it's weird because like it is like a weird sliding scale. Like
Yeah,
it's all
yeah.
categorized as it can all be categorized by like the dictionary term assault or
Yeah,
sexual assault.
as long as somebody
it's like
feels
all
some type of way,
encompassing.
yeah.
But it's like I don't know. It's weird because there's not much of like
There's levels to this shit. That's
Well,
just
it's
levels
like-
to shit, and there's no way to talk about it without being like, look, Aziz did sexual assault someone, but it wasn't that bad. And it's like, Louis,
Yeah,
but Louis did it. It was
exactly.
worse than that, but it wasn't Dalia bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Well, that's why they
Jesus
have.
Christ, where's Callan line on the scale?
He just boxing girls. He's gonna be like, calm down, bro.
But that's why everybody understood this, and it's been a staple of fucking law for centuries, where murder is murder, but there's also third-degree murder, there's second-degree murder, there's first-degree murder.
Yeah.
And everybody understands that when you're in the heat of the moment in a fight with somebody and you wind up pulling a gun and shooting them, that's a whole lot different than casing their house for a month, finding out when somebody else isn't at home, breaking their house and killing them.
No, you're right.
You know, and there's differences to it. And what happens is because sexual assault is such a touchy, taboo subject that it kind of, because people feel so like hesitant to even address it, then you can't even get to the point where you can talk about it objectively and be like, look, there clearly is a difference between the accusations against Aziz Ansari, the accusations against Louis C.K. and Chris D'Elia and Bill Cosby, and all these things are vastly different.
Yeah.
Vastly different. And so to just say this guy is on, we're gonna cancel this guy, he's fucking done for without hearing what he has to say about it, and shit, like it's like, you know, I was actually pleasantly surprised at how Aziz Ansari was kind of like everybody, like once he came out with his side of the story and explained it and things like that, once that happened, how many people, like, upon hearing both sides, kind of decided for themselves, like, okay.
Yeah.
And I almost feel like the universal popular opinion as it comes to that specific case is pretty much everybody's like, it kind of just sounds like a bad date.
Yeah, that's,
you know?
yeah.
I feel like everybody's kind of on that, unless you're like super like radical, like fuck every man for anything they do. It's like, you know, sometimes you can just be.
But a lot
His,
of that
his
is
was
like,
the one that like tuckered everybody out after like it was
It
because it
was
was
that-
like
yeah.
there was like Kevin Spacey, fucking Louis C.K., all the executives
it
at
was
like
the
news
Louis thing
agencies
that,
and shit. Like Louis was the one that like lit the wildfire, and then like Aziz just happened to be fucking peeing on
Yeah,
a
the
tree
bad-
and fucking got scorched, dude. Got singed. He's fingering a knot in a big oak tree.
an adult woman. Like, bro, don't do that. You know?
Oh man.
Can't find my keys. It's like, bro, look, we all agree you did assault someone, but come on, yo, grow up.
Grow up, bro. You still practicing fingering trees, bro? I really did wish I had more practice fingering girls, dude. It's really like a game time moment thing. You just gotta get good by experience, dude.
It's fight or flight, dude.
It is fight or flight, dude. There's no way you're gonna be going in on it the first time and be decent at it.
Yeah, you can't pull out your phone and watch a YouTube
Well, yeah,
tutorial.
that's why we did it so much in high school.
I didn't think there was a single chick in high school. That should have been a
Come on,
class.
dude.
That should have been a class.
That's crazy.
I almost.
Dude. You're handing out yeast infections like a fucking bakery, dude.
I was not. I probably wasn't. I'll say, never mind.
I want to say I was, probably 18 the first time I tried it. But luckily, I had watched so many, like, videos and shit. I remember there was this one video
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. It's a weird rabbit hole, but go ahead.
There was this.
We all have seen this video, right?
There was this one
We
video.
just saw it at different stages of life.
Yeah. I, for one, watched it last night.
Yeah.
Very
I watch it
eye-opening.
at least once a year.
Just to make sure I'm still doing things right. It was a good video,
You
dude.
stick your finger in her whispering eye.
It was one of the few. I'm not a big sensual
Sex ed.
sex ed porn guy.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I'm very selfish when it comes to porn. I don't even like two chicks really that much. It's like,
Yeah,
come on,
no,
dude.
I was-
Where do I fit in this picture,
Yeah,
dude?
yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't even let the dude nut in porn when I watch it.
Exactly.
I'm the only one.
Yeah, dude, that's my
Computer out the
chick.
way.
But it was like kind of like an instructional video for how to finger a chick, but it was like a super hot ass chick, and she was just like on a table, and he was doing it, and I was like, I can get down with this a little bit. It was tight.
Well, it's
and
educational.
it was educational, and it helped out a lot because up until that moment, I thought you were supposed to fucking crack, crack, crack. I thought you were busting caps in there, fucking like, and then I realized like, oh shit, bingo.
Yeah,
And that kind of like, but you gotta watch. That's why girls. There are so many girls that don't
That's
know.
the thing, though, dude. You grow up looking at 2D images of pussies, and you think that you just got to go straight.
Yeah. There's no other
There's
way.
actually, you have to break out of the matrix.
Yeah,
Find
yeah.
a third dimension.
The third dimension of
I
vagina.
could use all 5 of these.
I shouldn't be able to, but I can.
Whoa. I know how to finger. You took the blue pill, Neo. It's called Viagra.
Thumbs up. Hey, thumbs up.
You took the-
Speaking of blue pills, Blue Chew. No, I
No,
wish.
Mike, I was about to
Yeah.
say, no way. You guys said you didn't get a penny off this.
Yeah, no,
Nah.
I'm gonna reach out to Blue Chew this week,
Yeah.
primarily just to re-up on my subscription, but also,
Probably been watching that fingering video too much. That's all you guys stop doing.
dude, if I was watching that finger video more, I would never need that fucking Blue Chew, bro.
Yeah.
Just pregame with that shit.
That's anti.
But I think I will reach. I do want to reach out to them because I feel like I just want to get a bunch of like free stuff endorsements right now.
Exactly.
Just fucking like send me some Blue
We
Chew.
just
I'll
need,
talk
like,
about you.
promo shit to put up on the table.
Yeah.
Instead of our empty trash.
Oh, the camera's not. I was about to say Napster, bro.
He turned to the camera.
I'm not doing it. Hey, just so you guys know, I'm wearing a Napster shirt. I'm Justin Timberlake in the Social Network.
Hell yeah.
Oh man. What? I was gonna bring up the fact that I think you made your first big public outing this past week, dude.
I did.
How did you feel about that? I could tell you were a little uneasy.
I was a little uneasy, dude. I don't know if it was the water. I don't know if I was seasick, or if it was because there's a ton of people at that bar. No, I don't. I'm not actually sick, but yeah, no. I met Jimmy, my brother, and his neighbor out at Tiki Lee's
Is that a bar?
in
Yeah.
Sparrows Point. It's
Okay.
yeah, it's on the water.
It's fucking huge, dude. It's like Secrets, but like all outdoor, which I think Secrets is outdoors now. I'm thinking about
Yeah.
pretty much all of it, except for some of it. But like, you never been to Secrets?
It's a secret to me.
It's basically this
Ocean City.
gigantic,
I don't
like,
go there.
it's basically this
Okay.
I hate
gigantic
the ocean. I forgot.
beach tiki bar right on Middle River or Back River or one of them.
They got a pool table.
I think so. I
Probably.
think they do up in the
That's-
inside.
I just-
That's your move, dude. But that was my first time there. One of our friends works there, and it was super fun. And Alex told me, he was like, "Yo, Eric's coming," and then we didn't hear from you for a bit, and then I was like, "Oh shit."
He like called me or texted me when I went to my parents to like do laundry, and I like cut their lawn for them. And then I had to go back to my place, take a shower, and then it was like 30 minutes away.
Yeah,
So it took a minute, but
yeah. And then when the next text we got from him was that he was out front, needed $5. I was like,
yeah,
boy,
they
Jim.
invited me out to the bar and neglected to say there was a $5 cover.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I don't have cash during Corona, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not touching dirty bills.
No, I'm with you.
No, that was a good day. We got in a lot of flack from some of our other friends saw that we had like towards the end we were like playing with those kids and like building sandcastles and shit. And then like Zach all day was documenting like his drinks. So every drink he'd be like, "My name is Zach and this is my 18th drink," or whatever.
Recording himself?
Like on Instagram story.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And so he just fucking cheers, and we made it like a fun thing where like
Yeah.
we'd be like doing different shit for each one. And for one of them, we got one of the kids to say it.
Oh,
We're-
no.
But like, okay, so I
You're
got
having fun. You guys are being nice.
we had a
fine,
great fucking time when we went to
You
go
could just
in.
blame it on your drunk. That's what.
Yeah,
You know.
we were all 15 plus in at
Yeah,
that
that's what
point.
I'm saying.
Sun was going down. We had been there since 2 p.m. We were hanging out against the beach bar. These kids kept on running around, and like we just started talking. We were feeding the ducks with them and stuff like that, and like building sand. They were like burying our feet in the sand, and we were pretending we couldn't get out. It was like it was a wholesome, fun time. And then like we were like, and this one girl was like saying she was like TikTok famous. She had 3 followers. It was very cute. She was like 5 years old. She's like TikTok famous, and she was doing all the dances. And I was like, oh, I don't want to tell her the news that this is fucking over with, bro. But like, yeah, for one of them, Zach got them to say like, "My name is Zach," and she was just like, "My name is Zach, and I drink this." And then Zach just like did the shot or whatever.
Oh, I mean,
and
that's cool.
it was totally cool. But like our more like woke friends were like, "You subjected them to this, that, the other thing," and I was like, "Not."
It
I
was
just don't-
2 little black kids.
Yeah.
If it was 2 little white kids, I doubt anyone would say
And nobody
anything.
would have said anything. And that's what annoys me. It's like, all right, like their parents were
That's
literally
the Post Malone thing again.
dude. Their parents were literally
But-
sitting right there, and they were happy
Yeah.
we were playing with those kids
Yeah.
because now they didn't have to worry. But all day, those kids were running around playing tag and shit. And they couldn't even fucking enjoy the whatever event. It was like a bunch of them. They couldn't even enjoy the event because they had to make sure their kids
Hey,
weren't running
whoa,
off into the water.
What do you mean by a bunch of them? Come on, Jimmy.
And so like they couldn't have been happier that their
All right,
kids
I'm
were
gonna
now
go piss.
distracted. Yeah, knock it out. But like they just like I found myself in a weird situation where I was like trying to defend the fact that we were just having a good time, and I was like, is the idea of having a good time lost on people now? Is there such thing as having a good fucking time? Like, that kid had the best time of their fucking life. When we were leaving to go inside, they were like, "Can you come over? Can you come to our birthday party next week?" Like, they were so stoked.
Yeah,
and I was
yeah,
like, they were having a great fucking time.
And also, it's like social media or whatever is just this little window into what's happening. So anyone could see that and make a judgment. But you have a whole story behind it, and you're like, it's not anything like that. We
Yeah.
were genuinely having fun.
Yeah, exactly. And I think their main qualm was like, look, you like posted them on your Instagram. It wasn't even my Instagram. It was my friend posted them on his Instagram story, and like they were like, well, you're just putting out a kid onto public social media, and it's
Yeah.
like that kid has a TikTok and is making videos of
Well,
himself
yeah,
every
yeah,
fucking day. Every kid has a TikTok and something like that. If they have a phone, they're on social media, they're
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
internet. It's like, I just, to me, it just felt like.
It's like an understood activity that social media is probably going to be involved too.
Exactly.
Like, it's unspoken.
Exactly. And it's like, their parents were all drinking, so it's like, oh no, we were drinking too. And it's like, look, I remember being a kid. I remember seeing adults drink. I remember like them like making little jokes where like I didn't really understand what drinking was or what getting drunk was and shit like that. So it's like, okay, you could say all those things, but it just, to me, it was just something that I was just like, why do you feel the need? Why do you feel the need to make this something it's not?
No, exactly.
Like, it's just like, for some people, it's like they can't help themselves.
No, I know, but I don't know. People got a lot of pent up whatever, and they just need to get it out. And sometimes people just get caught in crossfire. You feel
Yeah.
me? Like it is what it is.
It wasn't a big deal. It was just
that's what I'm trying. It's like,
Yeah.
bro, it's no big deal. You feel me?
exactly,
Like, it is.
exactly. But that was, I think that all transpired. I think Eric left once we were feeding the ducks and shit like that.
Yeah. And
But I was very
I
happy.
left
was,
when you figured out you didn't know how to make a sandcastle.
Yeah, I was like playing
you
with the
get
toys.
drunk, you get frustrated.
Well, he was playing with like he had one of the kids by, and he was like, "Yeah, let me show you how to use this mold." And then he kept trying to like make this crab sand mold.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like, "How do you do this?"
You gotta put some water on it.
And then the kid was like, "That's how you do it."
Yeah, I was watching this 4-year. I was like, stupid kid. He doesn't know how to make a sandcastle. And I tried. I was like, damn, I'm an idiot.
I'm about to say, kids know a lot, man. You can learn a lot from them.
Unreal.
They can see ghosts.
That's true sometimes.
That's true. But other than that, I mean, it was the fucking serving staff there is beyond unbelievable.
Were they a little weird with the corona thing, or they were
Not at
pretty
all,
much,
dude.
like,
It's
pretty-
Sparrow's
see,
Point. They
that's
don't give a
pretty-
shit. I mean, like, they didn't like. They have the benefit of being all outdoors.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's like that takes away from it a little bit. But also, the way I look at it is like, at this point, everyone knows the threat.
Yeah.
Everyone gets it. And like, so if you make the decision to go to a place, it's like you kind of
your
you're going there.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like nobody made us go to Tiki Lee's. Nobody made anyone there go to
No,
Tiki Lee's. It
absolutely.
was like, you did this. It's outside. You're sitting in, they had like certain things like you couldn't be like walking around really. You had to be like sitting down at a
Yeah,
place. It
yeah.
was only like groups of 4, so you can have more than groups of 4. And it's like, other than that, it's like a humongous place. So it's like, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people there.
Yeah,
because it can seat probably 1,000, 2,000 people if they had that place fucking packed on a
Yeah,
Friday
yeah.
night during regular times. So it's like, yeah, there's a bunch of people there, but also the place is fucking huge.
Yeah.
And they're taking certain measures. The staff's all wearing masks. You got to put on a mask if you get up and go to the bathroom and shit. And like, it's like, what are you gonna do
Yeah, and I was gonna say,
besides close it?
yeah, and the government is allowing this stuff, so it's like it's kind of up to their thing,
Yeah.
you know.
And that bar wouldn't exist in the city because I feel like people in certain areas are much more conscious of it, but in other areas they're not.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, okay, then
I mean, that's what like the Sandlot is essentially.
yeah. And the Sandlot closes at fucking 8 p.m., which sucks.
That's a
I never understood the whole closing rule. That's the one thing I was like, okay, dude, I get
Oh,
that you
yeah,
want to
yeah,
take,
yeah.
but it's like,
I know.
what does
Like-
you closing at midnight as opposed to 1:30 have anything to do with
would-
stopping the spread of anything? I don't
went,
get
I
that.
went and played pool, and there you could only use every other table, and that was
Yeah.
pretty funny. And then another time, I went to play pool again at this other place, and I literally asked the bartender. I was like, "What time do you guys close?" They looked at me. They were like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
I was like, "Hell yeah, dude!" Belgian.
Yeah, it's that's the one thing that like I've seen going on a lot is the early closure. And I'm just like, dude,
Yeah.
just open or don't open.
Yeah.
What is this? I don't get it. But
Give me a fucking break, dude.
give me a fucking break. But yeah, that was my week. Full of tiki.
Sponsored by Kit Kat.
Yeah. I think last week was my last little my last week of summer break, basically.
Yeah.
Went back to work this week, which is good because I was blanking too long, dude.
Yeah, you feel
Can't-
like
You just feel useless.
yeah. I was about to say, you like say beforehand, not that you didn't appreciate it, but now that you're back, you're like, I'm ready to like kind of work a little bit. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you just like instead of like, all right, like I don't even think I've taken. I think last year I didn't really take I took a vacation in like March
Yeah.
last year, so I was going like from March to March, like full year work, no days off, whatever, and then quarantine hit, and I was like, this is actually kind of nice.
Yeah, no, I
like
get that,
this
yeah.
is kind of sweet to have a little bit off.
No, that makes sense.
And then it's been like too long.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
now
exactly,
I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know. I hope there's a job to go back to.
Yeah, that's scary.
Now it was like, okay, I can start working again.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
hop on that train real
No.
quick.
That's cool. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, yeah. But
What'd you do yesterday?
just like I re-edited an old commercial we shot
Oh, cool.
for the place to like put a new ad out, basically.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha.
they just paid us a little bit to recut the ad. But we have a couple things lined up that should be good in the books to
Nice.
keep us going for a while.
No, cool. That's good. Because, you know, a lot of people, you know, can't work or like it sucks. But the fact that you can go back, especially like that, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's I'm very lucky, very grateful. And yeah, just a little update. Nothing else really happened. I went to Tiki Lee's. I was scared.
Got
for my
tiki
life.
freaky.
Got freaky tiki out there.
Freaky.
I had like I think I had like Bud Lights, and then I was like, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
I like experienced a bar for the first time in 4 months. This
Yeah.
was good enough for me.
No, exactly. I just went, I played pool and I was like just zoned out. Because before quarantine, I would go to a bar every night basically. Because I'm like,
Well, we're doing comedy. We're
well,
like,
yeah, but I'm saying even not, you know,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I'm getting drunk. And, yeah, either way, no matter what, I'm getting drunk. And
Hell
like,
yeah.
and then like now, like I'm like, okay, I realize in quarantine when I'm not drinking, I can kind of put a sentence together. So I'm playing pool and literally my friends are drinking and I'm whipping their ass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no way. And then I was like, I told my friend Tyler, I'm like, bro, it's amazing what not drinking will do. And he looks at me and says, I know, why don't you grab a fucking drink?
Yo, speaking of that, I just want to say I'm very happy. I was super happy when you made your like return to comedy, dude.
No, thank you.
I was super stoked about.
I mean,
that.
still for a while it sucked, but hopefully I make another return. It'll be cool.
Yeah. Well, now the
luckily
world.
this time everyone has to make.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
even playing field.
because I think I met you when you were on with Travis, right? I think that was the
Yeah.
first time I met you, and we realized that you looked. We realized after the fact that you looked exactly like the lead singer Jim Blossoms.
Oh yeah, you did pull that up. That's
yeah,
a good time.
he really does, dude.
He does.
Really fucking
Yeah,
does.
he
It's
does.
crazy. But
Now
then
it's just blossoms.
They do country now, apparently.
you got any big shows coming up?
No, not really. Thursday, I might pop into Snow is putting a show together, so I'll probably pop up to that. Whether or not I get on stage, I'm not necessarily sure, but
Yeah.
I don't really have too many plans because really I've just been in bed and just sitting down writing and just like doing what you're supposed to do, kind of thing. So like anything else is like just whatever comes. I'm just excited to do something new. kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Where can the locals get fucked up by you in pool, dude? Where's your spots?
Dirty Bernie everywhere. There's like a beach bar place. I'm not even sure that's what it's called, but it's called Beach Bar to us. There's another place called Sidelines. I play there. They have a bunch of pool tables.
I always wanted to check out like a pool. I've been to one like real pool hall where it's
Yeah.
like a big ass hall of pool tables.
Yeah.
And I think I was in Colombia,
Yeah.
and I was like, damn, this place is crazy, and I
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like
I think there's a pool hall in like Timonium.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's like a bunch of. I feel like any bar worth its salt has at least one pool table.
I pretty much
sure.
just playing Glenburn.
Yeah. I wish I had that shit for chess, dude. If they had chess halls,
Oh,
bro, I'd
yeah,
be in
yeah.
there getting fucking sloshed every night.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Fucked up on,
I
on the
played
boards.
my friend Ted in a game of chess, and he was getting drunk, and I whipped his ass.
So are you on or off the wagon right now? The
What?
drinking wagon. I don't know which one is
Off?
which.
Yeah, I was about to say I have no idea.
Off
Whatever
the
is
wagon?
Not drinking.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Oh, you're not
But
drinking?
you're not like
at all.
sober, or are you?
Well, I
sober?
still smoke weed.
Okay, yeah,
But
yeah.
that's medicinal now. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
I'm taking
exactly.
my medicine.
But so you're just taking a break from drinking.
No, I mean, maybe when I get older, but for a while, I need to stay away from it just because, like I was saying, every night I was hammered, dude. Even to the point, there's just embarrassing shit I could talk about to where it's like at the time I thought it was funny, and now I look back, I'm like, bro, I had a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Times I get home and just throw up everywhere, and then not even think nothing of it, and then
Yeah.
now
Like,
I'm
damn, at least I made it home.
yeah, exactly, bro. And now I'm like, I can't even comprehend it. Like in my head, I'm like, everybody does this shit. And now I'm like, oh, that was just me.
It's 80-20, dude. 80-20 split.
yeah.
80-20, baby.
That's funny.
But yeah, what's your Instagram?
Benjamin Beep.
There you go.
That's-
Follow Benjamin Beep.
Any
Track down those
underscores in
pool
there?
Tables.
No, it's just Benjamin, the way you would normally spell it, and then Beep, Beep.
Beep.
There we go.
Because I'm trying to cuss less too.
Yeah, dude.
So beep it.
Benjamin censored, dude.
What do you
No.
got going on, Jimmy?
Let's see. Aside from my very fingers crossed upcoming gigs at Tiki Lee's before this summer is over, cannot.
Yo, do you play your own music or? Like,
I mix it in. I
Okay,
mix it
see,
in.
that-
Most of the gigs are like 3-4 hours, so I'm
Yeah.
playing mostly stuff people want to hear.
no, that's cool.
And we
though.
mix in our originals when it makes sense,
No, that's sweet.
or even when it doesn't make sense. Let's
like-
see.
People are like, I like this song. That'd be cool.
This week is actually one of my first weeks that I have somewhat close to what my schedule used to look like. A lot of gigs this week. I'll be at Backyard, which is the old Green Turtle in Towson, Barley's Backyard uptown. That's on Thursday, August 6th from 7 to 10. I will be upstairs unless Hurricane Isaiah decides to make a comeback, and then I'll be downstairs. Either way, it's a great time. That's just solo. Friday, August 7th, I'll be at Lock Bar in Harbor East. If you are bougie and bad and ratchet, come to Lock Bar or any of the three. That's 9 to 12. I'll be with Joe Niehaus. Little duo action there. August 8th, Saturday, August 8th. If you are in Bel Air, you already know where the fuck to go. I'll be at Looney's North, baby. The spot. I don't have to tell you. 6 to 10. That's going to be a duo as well. And I'll either be, I don't know who that duo partner is going to be. It'll either be with Joe Niehaus or The Animal, who I've played with several times there. He's a newfound staple up there. And then making the big return to High Tops on Sunday, August 9th. First time playing there in probably 4 or 5 months. That's from 2 to 6 on a Sunday. Nice little post-brunch action. I believe they call that lunch. So,
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Well, my one gig that I had booked for, I think it was September 5th. It might still be going on. It might not be. I'm not sure. Apparently, the promoter got hit by a car.
beep,
So
beep.
I don't know what that's all about, but apparently
Can't be good.
Yeah, apparently they really got hurt.
Really.
Yeah, so I hope
sucks.
they're okay. Get better, even if the show can't go on. That's fine. Just get better.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
But wow,
Yeah, it's no good.
I was like, oh, this will be a fun show in Hamden to do, and then like the next day, I got a message being like, maybe it might not happen.
Yeah. Well,
A lot of stitches, broken bones. Might
jeez.
not.
Well, even if the show doesn't go on, it always goes on. That guy's a legend, right? Is Mike?
it's a girl.
Girl? Oh, I'm thinking of a different guy.
well, so he's working with the girl at the
got it.
restaurant.
Okay, then I don't know this person then.
Yeah,
Or I
you
might.
know
I don't
the
fucking know.
But yeah, speedy recovery to them, and then I'll probably do something else another time. Who cares?
Swell.
It
Who
is.
cares? That's really the theme of this podcast. Who
At Eric
fucking
Glazer,
cares?
at Jimmy Selesky, at LFTS Podcast. See you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.
See ya.